check. Well, I can hear myself okay on this. Oh, by the way, hello, listeners. I'm Tyson Rickard, the head of the Nanaimo Communist Party. Yeah, yeah. And with us is uh, Matt Henstock over there from the Nanaimo Right Wing Coalition.
Yep, I'm all about if it's not right, it's not right.
If it's not right, it's not right. But three rights make a left. We're clear on that, right?
We only need one left.
Say,
I'm a
say,
card-carrying member of the Green Party,
Conservative
the
Party.
Pouch in Valley North.
am I actually coming out? I'm not coming out through the regular system, am I? No.
No.
And am I coming through there, do you think? No, 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 not through there, through your thing. Like, did you find the live stream or yet, or
No,
no?
it hasn't come up yet.
Oh, okay.
It can take a
Yeah,
second.
it often does take 30 seconds or something before it comes up. I found that too. I started looking for it and I don't see it.
Yeah, it can take a second. Oh, my mic's off.
Is it?
Check,
Well,
check. There we go.
Oh no, it's on there. I see a red light flashing.
I just turned it on.
Oh.
I just turned it on. Huh, I'm still not seeing it. Randa, you want to check the YouTube on the computer and see if you're getting it better than our cell phones?
1000, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010.
Well, like, yeah, like I gave him a project yesterday, and then like
Oh no, I'm on the right one here.
today, and then he was
Check,
getting
check.
back to me today, and it's like it wasn't what I had asked him to do. So then I'm like, okay, you know, I'm comfortable with it, but I'm just like,
Hello, check.
it's not working.
Check, check.
Like it's not what, yeah, it's not what the client asked for exactly. So,
I think I'm about.
and then he starts like
Last
giving
time
me like
Greg
this
was holding his
creative thought
backpack.
process of shit, and I'm like, we need to do what we're paid to do. Like, actually, it was a pretty good idea. Like I thought
No, that was
if
not
it
the
was my
one.
project,
That was
I
the
would
old one.
100% agree with that. Yeah. I can right now. I'm at downtown. Like
Check 1 2.
That's an upload.
yeah, exactly. That's why we pay him. So I don't have to be worried. So it saves you.
And this is the other test. Don't worry, the Communist Party meeting will start in minutes
Well, like
or
no,
seconds.
I don't care. But okay, but
Sure, but it sounds all right.
no, I 100% disagree.
That's got our preferred picture.
Because this isn't working on the keyboard with my shit. I don't
There we
know.
go. Asshole. All right. Our many technical difficulties have come to an end.
I don't care.
Our many technical difficulties are probably just starting.
I don't want to
Way to add balance to the
I'm
situation.
being rude, but I don't want to try to do the work.
Um,
We can find somebody else. You know what I mean? No, brother, I'm not bitching. I'm telling you what's happening because I'm not right. Would we be giving him what you want to give him another chance, or do you guys like like? Well, then I'm making a judgment call.
over then. Shit. Oh my god. Hello.
I'm only being sarcastic. You could. Okay.
I am making a hash of this. What? A hash. I'm not making hash, you stoner. Hello. Let me see. Maybe I copied the wrong link. The people who are talking about my not being liveness. Oh, no, here I am. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, we're just getting started here. Let me not be that guy who sits there and stares at his phone the whole podcast. I'm just going to bring up the live chat. No, not just me. Matt's coming over. I had some other people here, too. And maybe I'll drag some more people on. Why don't you come on down if you want to be on the podcast, though?
I got someone who's going to be coming down who wants to be on the podcast.
Oh, well, why don't you say that into the microphone?
Looks like somebody's got a case of the Mondays, and it's me.
I'm-
Yeah, I got someone coming down for the podcast. He runs the Kambioke from over at the Kambi, and he's pretty cool. He does stand-up comedy as well.
Oh,
You might want to talk to him and pick his brain. I have to talk to you about...
is that is it Peter?
No, you're thinking Peter Hudson. We should get him on, too, though. He's a great guy. He's a huge fan of his comedy.
Yeah.
I'll reach out to him this afternoon.
He's actually on my Facebook. I ran into him in the Dairy Queen just up the road.
Oh, nice.
Right? Yeah, the other day. And he's like, hey, we should get together and do stuff, which I really like about the Nanaimo just arts and entertainment industry. Yeah, make sure you unloosen these all over the way. We do not want to wreck the microphone stands. I'm learning so much about audio equipment.
If you see him next, tell him Ginger Matt says hey, and tell him that I'm your co-host or whatever. He'll
I don't know.
probably do a lot of funny things. And
Are you my co-host, Matt?
swear.
We're still auditioning, aren't
oh fuck you, Tyson. I am your fucking co-host,
I'm your
whether you
fucking
like it or not.
co-host? No,
By the way, when are we starting my political podcast, the Nanaimo Political Bastion .com? You can check out the website now.
Okay, so, yes, the political bastion.
A lot of coffee.
It's a place where Matt wants to go to war with people.
I wouldn't say war. I'd just say more like crossfire.
Crossfire, yeah.
You know?
It's a guerrilla action.
It's where pundits go to die.
Perfect. I'm going to do a big quick hit of the Nukin.
Ooh, nice.
Indigo.
That's my
Yeah.
favorite.
There's a weed called Duke Nukem, which I really like the name of. I haven't smoked much of, though.
And I'm just getting ready because I don't really know what to say.
I know what to say. Look at all the global warming.
Right? Yeah, the global warming is really, really messing Vancouver Island up this season. With all that warmth.
Yeah, we just got like what? Oh my God, that was a really good hit. Like an inch of global warming.
Smells delicious.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I woke up today at 6 and I was out doing some errands before I came down here, and like I was soaking wet from like snow, rain, sleet mix here in February.
Whoa. That was a really good toke. I just felt that right away.
I gotta say, I actually smelt the toke. I normally don't, but it smells decent.
Okay, so this was funny. The other day, Randa, our lovely dab tender over there, who's here most of the week, she walked over to the corner right after I farted, and I was going to get her to smell some dabs, and she's like, did you just fart me? You remind me of my dad. And then rather than leaving, she just stood in the fart and reminisced about her dad for 5 minutes. Just breathe it in, reminds me of home.
Just soak it in, man.
Well, don't you ever do that to somebody? Fucking, you go fart in an area and then they're like, do you smell popcorn?
Oh yeah, I like to like fart and wait for them to tell me and come to me about it. I'll admit it. I'll be like, yeah, I farted, but I'll wait.
Yeah. Well,
I'm gonna adjust my mic really quickly.
You got to hold them farts in so you don't contribute to the global warming. All that methane going out into the atmosphere. It's not cow farts. It's Taco Bell farts.
Right. Oh, thank you.
Your fucking coat.
It's a beautiful coat.
Retarded. By the way, that's the first definition of the word, which is a hindrance to achieving one's goals. As in, this microphone stand is retarding the forward progress of our podcast.
It's true. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. It can also be used in reference to baking. Like, I'm going to retard this bread, which means I think loosely that I'm going to give the bread a vaccine.
I actually know. I was talking to Jenny McCarthy last night, and she was going on and on about the vaccine. I'm just joking. I don't know Jenny McCarthy.
Really?
Just trying to impress the listeners here.
Oh, I thought you were probably just talking to her Twitter, which means it's not Jenny McCarthy. It's someone who's made up a Twitter for them. Fuck.
Wait a minute. People have fake accounts
On Twitter, yeah.
on Twitter.
That's why there's the real Donald Trump, who I don't think is the real Donald Trump. I'm pretty sure that's the fake Donald Trump.
See, I think the real Donald Trump is Donald Trump only because I know that Donald Trump actually doesn't use emails. He doesn't believe in email. He believes in going old school. I've read a lot of his books too, where he goes off about email, but he's not into email, but he's into his cell phone. And he just basically when Donald Trump started tweeting, that was when one of his assistants were like, "Oh, this is what Twitter is," and he just fell in love with Twitter.
Well, no doubt.
Which is why I believe that those tweets are from him, and that's because it just makes sense.
He's just bypassed the media.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Hear what he did to CNN.
Oh, when he banned CNN and BuzzFeed
and the New York Times.
Oh my God, yeah, because he called them.
First of all, BuzzFeed should never have had any credentials to begin with.
Yeah, have you seen on the one where he goes, "I retract my statement about calling CNN fake news. I'm now calling you really fake news."
Well, the way I look at it, I actually had an argument with somebody on my personal Facebook over the weekend. I shared on my private Facebook page. By the way, I'm very opinionated, and I always say I'm an independent.
You have an opinion?
Oh yeah. So, but the bottom line is that I posted an article from Russia Today, RT News, basically stating that the national debt in the United States went down last month under Donald Trump as president, which is factual. However, it doesn't factor in the fact that he just became president. Yada yada yada. Well, a big argument, erupted on the comment section where they're basically, instead of addressing the actual article itself, they were addressing Russia Today. Russia Today is fake news. RT News is fake. Did you know that they are funded by Russia and support Russia?
Like the CBC?
And, yeah, exactly. My response was, no shit. I look at it like this. When people come onto my personal Facebook page, and I'm sorry to rant here, but when you come onto my personal Facebook page to comment about politics, you should understand. If you don't know about something, just say so. Someone will enlighten you and educate you, but understand that you need to be in this is not kindergarten talk. I would assume that if you're going to have a conversation on Facebook, that we're past the point of talking about the mainstream media being biased towards their country. So when it comes to CNN being fake news, you're fucking right, they're fake news. But so is every other news outlet. So it's all bullshit. It's all theatrics. It's all politics. And it just blows my mind how people on the left and on the right, they just don't understand it. It's all fucking theatrics, including the mainstream media. So yeah, CNN, they are totally fake news. Did they report on factual things? Well,
No.
of course. Well, of course. I mean, if someone gets shot in Chicago, 20 times in a day, then yeah, they're going to report on that. But there's
omitting
a spin.
facts is not reporting on facts, right? The omitting the facts. So I mean, what was the one? All of that stuff about the, I think it was the Trayvon Martin and stuff like that. They omitted stuff like the massive criminal record of some of the people that were shot by the police that the Black Lives Matter people got really upset about. And I that's almost akin to inciting violence, which is... people talk about hate speech versus free speech, and it becomes hate speech or violent speech when you incite violence. All that talk about punching Nazis. Right? Well, it's okay to punch a Nazi or somebody you think is a Nazi, right? I don't think there's any actual Nazis out there. I haven't heard of the Fourth Reich Rising.
Right,
have you?
What's the definition? It's like that chant. I forget which podcast. I think it was Joe Rogan's podcast I was listening to.
Oh, Donald Trump, anti-gay,
Yes.
anti-fascist,
KKK.
or whatever.
What
It's
the
hilarious.
fuck?
Joe Rogan has been getting to me just a little bit lately. I think he really needs to move out of California.
Yeah.
Because you can see, he's a smart guy who knows when shit makes sense. And, when he gets a smart podcast guest on that's not from California and they start just talking about how shit actually is, it's like, oh, I could see how it is. I can see how it is. And then it's he leaves his house and he goes and he's around all these other fucking Californian idiots. And then it's just out of his brain, and the whole next podcast he starts talking about, well, you know, Hillary Clinton or blah blah blah. And you're like, Joe, man.
Yeah, I've always thought with Joe Rogan, I've always I think he's
Oh.
just a guy just trying to figure shit out. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't think he claims to be anything that he's not. But I think, like, just like any other human being, he could be right about things, he could be wrong about things, maybe a little bit in between. But yeah, I think he's just trying to figure shit out, and we're just kind of listening while he figures his shit out about life and aliens and Alex Jones and other things. And the UFC still employs him. For some, they fired the other one though, Mike Goldberg. Anyway, we have a visitor.
This is Aaron.
What's up?
Oh, I'm getting so much better at being a sound check. Let's see if we've got Aaron here. Check.
Oh
Oh,
my
we
God.
do. Try and talk into the microphone.
Sounds like it's working.
It does. So,
Decent.
Aaron,
That's big A, little A, RON, just so you know.
big A, little A. I'd get that tattooed on my balls, just a big A and a little A.
Please
That's a-
don't do that.
That's a good icebreaker right there.
I get it spelled the Canadian way. It'd be E-H and then a little E-H. A.
That's enough talking about tattooing my initials on your balls.
Oh, no, I meant if they were my initials, I'd tattoo them on my balls. I'm not going to tattoo your initials on my balls. What if we break up?
I would call my balls the octagon.
What? Two men enter? Like,
One man survives.
probably because you got that gonosypha herpelitis.
Hey! What I do on Thursdays on various websites are my business. That's a joke. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
He's
Mom.
a podcast. They're everyone's business what he does. Oh, I think Aaron has come for a dab.
No, I have not.
Oh, what?
Oh.
What? How do you come to dab o'clock and not dab?
I'm on shift.
Oh.
Very, very
I'm
professional.
actually here for work reasons.
Oh, don't start talking about work on the radio.
I don't want to do that.
Nobody wants to know about work. So, Aaron, you've got a really interesting hobby.
I do.
I'm going to bring it up before you mention one of the more perverted ones, which is
It's called hentai, and it's art.
the fisherman's wife, and the fisherman's wife too, the retentacling. Dude, I saw. I'm not going to mention where I saw it, but I saw a
Oh, boy.
tentacle vibrator. Right? I was like, oh my shit, they make those. It had like
You
suction
saw that
cups.
in your browser history.
Was it like curved? So that it was like.
It was like an octopus tentacle.
you
It
saw
was
that
like-
on your Amazon.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Well, if you've ever played like Saints Row 4 or whatever, where you get the purple tentacle bat, yeah, it was like a mini version of that. Let's get Aaron the other microphone.
Oh yeah.
One of these is dying. Let's make sure we turn it on. Wireless technology, right?
You know, apparently they now have the internet on wireless. Apparently it's called Wi-Fi or
Channel
wireless.
1, check.
Oh, nice.
And we're back.
Have you seen? I watched the IT Crowd, which is hilarious. I wish they would make more episodes of it. But there's one where Mr. Reynolds starts dating a transgender dude, but the nerd guys from it, they end up fooling their boss. They bring in a little black box with a blinking light on it and tell
Oh
her
my
she's
God.
it's the internet.
Oh my
And she brings it that they board it from the top of Big Ben where it's up there for the signal, and she brings it in to give a speech because it's the whole premise of the show is the lady lied her way into being manager of their department and knows nothing about IT, but is over top of these two nerds, and you'd like her. She's a redhead.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the two of you can make more soulless children to
That's
walk
the
forth for
plan.
Beelzebub.
That's the plan.
Because he's a ginger, he's gonna like a redhead. Is that?
No,
Well, you know, it's always good to keep the hairline pure.
There we go.
Yes.
yeah, no. Look, oh my God, the thing I was about to say was super offensive. But
I kind of feel what I just said was a little bit offensive.
Oh,
Kind of
really?
par for the course for you, though, isn't it?
I was going to say nobody wants to race mix with a ginger.
Tyson
You know,
saying
actually,
something
funny
super
story,
offensive. No
I,
one's ever heard of that ever.
Funny story.
This girl I was dating, she actually filled me in that apparently ginger people are on bucket lists in the same way that blondes or brunettes would be on bucket lists. So then I
Not
thought,
on mine.
thank God.
I think I reached my quota.
Quota of gingers
Of
or quota?
gingers, yeah.
Oh.
Man, that's why you must have these dead eyes because that's a lot of your soul that's been stolen over the
I didn't
years.
say it was
Jesus
a lot. One might have been the quota.
Yeah, that's fair. Down the
Uh,
clock.
Fuck. For Halloween this year, Matt, you should just get yourself a big sack of Wonder Bread and walk around calling yourself the Gingerbread Man.
Oh my god.
Just throw loaves of fucking Wonder Bread at people all night. Gingerbread Man, leave. They'll be attacked by seagulls and ducks.
Jesus.
He's like drool giggling from his dab.
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay. Go get it from the food bank, then you don't have to pay for it.
I actually, I thought about going. Whenever I get my hair cut,
That's no good.
everyone
That's
calls
no
me
good.
fucking Tintin, like from the fucking cartoon.
I got Tintin's hairdo
like-
right now.
Oh,
You do,
yeah.
you do.
If the two of you had a child, it would be like a...
I actually haven't cut my hair, and I'm just because I'm not really
I
down for
normally
the
get
Tintin.
I normally get
call-outs.
Jimmy Neutron actually.
Jimmy Neutron.
I've got the Jimmy Neutron hairdo.
Yeah.
I think you're overestimating your own intelligence.
It's just the hair. It's
Perception is reality,
So
brother.
right.
we never did get to the thing I was bringing up about Aaron.
Yeah, I can't sit here all day. So let's.
Why would you walk
Oh,
onto
yes.
a podcast?
Aaron, why are you here?
He
No, I'm
wants
just
me to
joking.
do work.
I actually have business to attend.
You know,
to.
we have some of those too. We made some.
It's a different story.
Oh, cool. Wow, cool story, Hansel. No, Ginger. Not Ginger. Not
His
Ginger.
name is just Ginger now. Okay,
Not
great.
Ginger Aaron.
Okay.
Aaron takes Nerf guns and other toys, and then he makes them look like adults should own them.
I sure do.
Lets you feel slightly less guilt
I
about
need an
having
example.
no children.
I need an example just to clarify here.
Tyson has one at his house.
Yeah, I should really bring one in. It's he takes Nerf guns and then he'll cosplay the shit out of them.
Right.
Right. That way, when you show up to be your favorite superhero, you're just not walking around your Comic-Con weaponless. That would be
True.
lame.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah, no, and he does a really good fucking job. I don't know if we'll ever be able to get a picture up. If I ever get picture in picture beyond the cool one we've got at the pool table today, I'll
I can
bring one
show
of
the
this
folks
down.
in the room, but that's about the best I can do.
We should bring a collection down. We should get you on a day where you're
Yes.
not at work, and then you can do dabs, and you can show us how a grown man plays with toys.
That would
Fair
be an
enough,
awesome
fair enough,
idea.
fair enough.
Actually,
Yeah.
I know myself as a human being, I would really appreciate that.
Can you bring me some collectible action figures? What I like to do is I like to hold them, and then I like to scream and just smash them together like they're fighting.
Not my collectible action
my God.
figures.
Please.
I just want to describe to anyone who's like watching this. That gun looks fucking
Yeah,
awesome. It's like out of a fucking video game. Like I don't play much video games, but it's like a Halo gun or some shit
Yeah,
like
this
that.
is the one that Aaron did for my. Maybe we can get someone to hold it up in front of the camera. Why don't I get Justin to go back and
I
look
don't,
at the
I don't
monitor
think, I
and
don't even
Randall
think the
hold it up at the
resolution
camera?
would do it justice.
Probably
Well,
not.
We'll get an idea. Look, and then people will be more interested. They'll just see this hazy fucking thing that. Yeah, that camera there. Let's see. Now you're gonna,
We should,
you're gonna
we
have to
should put
use
it on
some.
the Facebook page.
Oh, Randa,
She's having some
Randa.
technical
up.
difficulties.
He's giving you the up.
You should just upload that onto the Facebook page on Studio 420.
I will afterwards. I've got a picture. I've got pictures of it at my fucking house. What I should do is bring more of my stuff to work, like a bed and a.
True. Yeah, well, there you go.
Start living
You might
here.
as well just move in, right?
I know. Okay.
I gotta say, there's some cool stuff going on here at 420. I actually came in to visit you yesterday, and I couldn't talk to you because you were like fucking dungeon mastering a like.
It's called a games
Board
master.
game.
I master all games.
Yeah, dungeon master. Yeah, I was,
It's not
but there's
dungeon
like,
exclusive.
like a shitload of people here for
I
that.
just-
Here's
I-
another.
Oh, that's a nice one. I just did a magic hat trick.
That looks
I
fucking
have won
awesome.
the last 3 multiplayer games in a row.
Yeah.
On last night was a 3-way 2-headed giant match.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and Aaron's like, okay, I might give a fuck. I don't want to admit I play Magic. Maybe I don't know.
I have no qualms with people who play Magic. I just don't do it anymore.
I don't do it anymore. Oh, I don't do it anymore. That's like I have no qualms with people that smoke crack. I just don't do it anymore. It was costing me too much money.
I'm a
Not
pro
the
wrestling
same
nerd.
thing.
I can't
I know.
can't bitch about anything.
When you play Magic, you're still accepted in public places. Unlike when you
Back in the day, we started at Blackboard, or original set. So
holy shit.
we had the hobby at age 13, age 12, age 13.
Yeah, how old are
so
you now?
I'm 36.
Oh, you're only 3 years older than me. I started when I was like 16, so you've got like maybe half a decade more.
So I didn't really put a lot of money into that hobby.
Yeah.
I used my friends' cards.
Uh,
And
And-
once we sort of grew up and went to different schools and whatever, the hobby sort of left as
Oh,
well.
you like went to Red Mana School, and they went to Blue Mana School, and
That's it.
Yeah.
No, I would have gone to Swamp Mana school.
Swamp Man. Yeah, you look like a Swamp Man. You know what? I play a lot of white, but some of the white decks that came out have Swamp Tactics, so I've got
Sure.
White Fear and White Shadows and
Oh,
stuff.
sure. Yeah.
And playing some of these kids with the newer decks who don't know these old mechanics, I just took them apart with my flanking. They're like, "What's flanking?" And I just played a deck last night that had White Shadows, White Fear, and flying, and then equipment.
Okay.
And they were like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, "Yeah, fundamentals still fuck a guy up."
This
Right?
is the current work in progress that I'm
Oh,
doing.
is that the chainsaw?
Yeah, I'm doing a fucking chainsaw.
Oh, doing a fucking chainsaw.
My favorite Magic cards memory is back when I was like 12 or 13, and I would sell them at flea markets.
Oh, Jesus
Perfect.
Christ.
That's my story.
My brother at one time had a business buying and selling these things. Every day that he came in, there was new cards in the mail.
Oh, Jesus.
Every day.
Oh.
Something from Singapore or across the world. There was just a couple cards in it.
As-
I
as
can
a
imagine. I
maritimer?
can imagine counterfeit Magic cards coming from a place like
Most
Singapore.
likely. But, like, does that matter?
Yes, it
As-
does.
If you have the card, then...
I got to say, as a maritimer, you did what you had. Even you'd always come up with like, these ways to like make money because it's such a poor community or whatever.
Sure,
So
sure.
there was actually a Magic and like Pokemon and hockey card like black market
Gotcha.
where people would go into like the local Zellers. And I lived on like a small fucking town in Nova Scotia. They go to Zellers and literally rip open the packages and find what are good with like a hockey card or whatever book.
Yep.
And then take the valuable ones, bring them out, and then they'd like sell them to like us, who would then go and rent a table at the flea market and like sell these like fucking black market
Sure.
Magic cards. Basically, it's like Trailer Park Boys.
just- it
Everything you
sounds
think
like
about Trailer
An
Park Boys.
entrepreneurial sort of...
Well, I had a buddy. We had a buddy who worked at the Collector's Choice in Duncan, and what he would do is one of his jobs was to rip open blister packs.
Sure.
If you don't know what that is, it's where all the cards come in a random pack.
Yep.
And he would go through, and if there was like a card that was worth $10 in the pack, he would just buy that pack off the store for $5
Sure.
and then keep the whole pack.
Right, of course.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
So he was about like 10 seconds worth of fun to play against in Magic. But-
Gotcha.
Oh yeah.
Because he had everything.
It got to the point where we'd play multiplayer games, and if he hadn't shut everybody down in 4 rounds, everybody would just be punching him in the face. And then he eventually had to start making decks that would let us play Magic with him again and enjoy it.
I had a similar experience as a young kid. My buddy had an all-red direct damage deck, and we wouldn't let him use it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not fun to play against you because we're just dead instantly.
Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 millstones in that deck.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So if you got all 4 millstones out, that's 8 cards off the top of your deck every turn.
Oh, Jesus. I have a card kicking around, and I found it again the other day. I still have it. It's a Teferi's puzzle box, and anytime, at the beginning of your hand, you have to put all of your cards onto the bottom of your deck and then draw that many cards off the top. Every player. So
Wow.
if you've built a mechanic around doing this, like a spell book and a mind's eye, so you get to pay mana to draw a card anytime an opponent draws a card, and you have no hand size,
Sure.
right? But if you haven't built your mechanic around this, you're just watching all your cards vanish in and
Right,
out,
of
and
course.
you get pissed off. Oh, it's a super fun little thing to. Some of the old cards are funny as shit, and people see like these like the old art style and the cards, and they get a little bit nervous, right?
For sure.
Because it was a different game back then. I was surprised actually how easy I was able to beat the crap out of some newer decks with some of the old mechanics. But the young kids these days, they don't do shit like I'll do stuff like leave.
They don't know how good they had it back in the day.
I'll just like
Damn young kids.
say I got 5 mana out and I don't need
Fucking
any more. I'll just leave a
teenagers.
mana in my hand and mana open, and then they think you have like a counter spell or some
Sure,
shit, and you're just
sure,
bluffing with a mana. You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, you say stuff and like, oh wait, before you say go, I'm just now going to tap up all my mana and blow some of your shit up with cards. Like what?
Right,
And, you know,
right.
and they don't know they don't have the patience.
True.
They don't know how to table talk either. Right? We're like, I don't know. You hold your man out. You do that, I'm just going to nuke you. You should go after him.
Why
Just
doesn't
fucking mana.
Why doesn't
Yeah.
Magic cards come out with like special artwork by the people who did the heavy metal movie?
Oh, what? The
You know what
first
I
or
mean?
the second one?
Like
'Cause
Boris
no, the
Vallejo?
original. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure everybody who did
Or
the
like
original one
have
died.
like
Well,
the,
yeah, he's
the
dead.
most valuable card can be like a just Sammy Hagar,
Oh, what they do actually is if you're,
just rocking his guitar.
if you're fucking if you play the Magic World Tour circuit and you win and you're some of the like
You
Magic
get a one-way ticket
celebrities,
to midnight.
I know you can get hired over at the fucking to help design new Magic cards and stuff like that.
That's
right?
a pretty sweet gig.
That's
It is
decent.
it is a pretty sweet gig.
I wanted to be the guy that designed the new Lego sets.
Oh fuck me, yeah. You do play with a lot of Lego. It makes me
I sure
super
do.
jelly.
Yeah.
It's like I look at starting to buy Lego, and it's right up on the same thing of like getting back into like a hardcore drug career. You're like, I just need
Pretty
something to
much
cost
is.
me $200 every paycheck.
There's a term in the collecting industry called plastic crack.
Oh, plastic.
Wow.
It's not a joke.
Oh my
We
God.
all say that.
Oh
it's
my
like you just
God.
need another fix of something new in your house.
Oh my God! Do you have room in your house?
No.
Like for stuff. How do you even
No.
have a roommate or anything?
What do you collect? Like, what are
What
some
doesn't he
different,
collect?
different
Oh,
examples
shit.
of things that you collect? You
That's true. Actually, I collect a lot of action figures from an art toy company called 3A.
Was that ones I saw the other day? Those
3A.
fucking
What,
like.
what do they produce? Like, what brands or what type of action figures do they come out with?
They do deal with some properties that they pay for, but they're always stylized. But most of their properties are original.
Oh, nice.
You know what? One thing I have realized about Aaron, if he's on your Facebook, what he really loves is things that cross genres. I know how he loves that.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
he's being sarcastic. I can't stand that.
It's funny.
What do you think about the Kiss lunchboxes in the Kiss cartoon
Oh my God.
from back in the day?
Well, Kiss, they're merchandise horse, right? Everything that you can sell, you can buy the Kiss version of. You can get
do
buried
you
in a
think-
Kiss casket.
Is
What do
there
you think
Kiss-
about the
is there
South
Kiss
Park?
Lego?
Dimebag Daryl from Pantera was buried in a Kiss casket.
Really?
He
Whoa,
was. He was.
really? I
I
did
not know that, man. The more
Yes.
you know.
You
Wow.
holy
you-
shit.
You can go to hell in a Kiss casket.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, unless you're a Jew, because then you don't believe in hell.
Well, you can go to rot in the ground in a Kiss casket then. How about that?
Okay, yes. Oh, my God. Is there Kiss Lego?
There's got to be.
Um,
It's somewhere in Asia.
What?
there's these things called Kubricks that look like Legos. But
Stanley Kubrick's?
no.
Oh, okay. They look like Legos, and then the drug wears off, and you realize that it was people in a bar.
Well played. Well played.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me. I got to run.
Okay, are you also requiring me to go over there?
I do need to talk to you, yes.
Okay, I think I might be in shit. I don't know.
It's all you, bro. You're carrying this whole thing.
Okay.
All right, cool. Well,
Awesome.
no, that's all right. I took some improv classes there a couple
Oh my
weeks ago.
God, you got ripped off.
Yeah, no, all I had to do was just show up to the improv. No, I'm just joking. I have no self-esteem, and I also don't know how to improv. So yeah, apparently, whatever I just took for a dab was amazing because I feel great. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Right now, Tyson, he's actually meeting with a member of the British Columbia Green Party. Apparently, he applied to run as their candidate. So he. No, I'm so joking. By the way, there's no Green Party here at all. No Green Party here at all. Right now, well, yeah, that's a good point. There is a Green Party. The Green Party exists. They're just not right here. It's so funny with the set that we have because they're all couches, and I'm just sitting here by myself right now and just talking, so there's not dead air because I hate dead air. But it feels like I'm crazy because I'm just sitting here by myself talking into this mic. It's pretty sweet. So yeah, this is Studio 420, and some of you might not know this, but it actually used to be the Patricia Hotel over on Halliburton Street in South Nanaimo. And yeah, now it's been turned around and turned into basically a cannabis-friendly social club. It's not a dispensary, although it is 420 friendly for sure. And yeah, interesting to note that they tossed out the liquor license. They don't even serve liquor here, and basically you just come on in and just hang out. They also have live events and they did like a show last Friday. It was awesome. This place was packed, and if you think about that for a second, it's like a packed house on a Friday night at a venue that doesn't even serve liquor, and everyone's just getting stoned and having a good time. It was pretty sweet. I think if you go on the YouTube page or subscribe to the channel that you're watching right now, Studio 420, you can probably find that the show is live streamed, much like it's live streamed here, and it was actually a really, really decent production. And yeah, the place was packed with no liquor and no bullshit problems that come with liquor. That's one thing I kind of can talk about right now too. I mean, I drink. I'm 31 years old. Of course, I drink alcohol. Of course, I go down to the bars. Whatever. I'm responsible about it. But at the same time, if you just look at the law of average, just dispensaries versus bars. I mean, you're getting so much more problems when you have alcohol associated with things compared to cannabis. You know, I mean, if you, I know downtown, the Nanaimo Cannabis Club, for example, it used to be known as the Globe, but it was a strip club downtown. You know, there's if you go across the street from that particular building, there's this condo called the Pacifica. It's like the high-rise, basically, in downtown Nanaimo. You know, they had a shit ton of complaints, noise complaints, back when it was a bar. I even back in the day, I actually lived above that bar in that building, and it was relatively loud on weekends and whatnot. But now that it's a dispensary, I don't think they've had like a single noise complaint in the year and a half or however long it's been a cannabis dispensary. So yeah, going back to this place here, Studio 420, kind of the same deal. It used to be a problematic bar that served liquor, and now they don't have a liquor license, and it's all about cannabis. And, like I said, it's not a dispensary, but at the same time, it's a place where you can go and toke and talk to like-minded individuals and whatnot. We record these podcasts here as well, which is pretty sweet. And it just, to me personally, also shows how diverse the cannabis community can be, especially here in Nanaimo. Not every single cannabis business venture, especially after legalization, has to be a dispensary. Why can't there be places like this where it's like, a cannabis social club and lounge, live events venue, where they don't serve fucking liquor and people who don't drink can actually come and have a good time? Why can't there be other things after legalization? Like, who's to say, tourists or local people can't, like, tour a cannabis farm? Or, look at the Nanaimo Cannabis Club, where they actually have a restaurant called The Joint, where they serve very reasonably priced food within the dispensary. There's no mix, like there's no cannabis infused food. It's just straight like pub food, basically. But why can't there be a cannabis infused restaurant someday? Why can't there be all these different possibilities with cannabis, especially here in Nanaimo, because there already is such a large cannabis community here through the dispensaries. And if you think about it too, here in Nanaimo, or even in Canada, we're the first major country to completely legalize cannabis nationwide recreationally. So this is new for basically everybody. This is why the government, the federal government, they're dragging their feet, and it's pissing me off. It's pissing a lot of other people off. I personally am concerned that they're going to hold off and wait till the next federal election to use this as a federal, an election issue, so that or an election promise, so that they can try to retain their government basically when the next election happens. But at the same time, I can understand why they're taking their time with it, because this is new for everybody. Like we're breaking ground here by legalizing cannabis recreationally. But once that happens, we're going to have so many different. I don't even believe we can fathom the different types of businesses that are going to offshoot, like legal businesses that are going to offshoot, and how much revenue that this is going to. I believe that it has the possibility to like boost Canada's economy like massively if the federal government looks at legalizing cannabis as a positive, in a way that they can make money, in the way that they could kickstart a new economy, as opposed to looking at it negatively and just going, we're only legalizing it to keep it out of the hands of criminals and out of the hands of children, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? Cannabis dispensaries actually keep everything out of the hands of children. And with legalized cannabis and dispensaries, that's also going to make sure you're going to have regulated cannabis from regulated sources, and it's going to solve all those problems. So now that it's there, why don't you take it one step further and figure out how you can monetize off of it? Monetize by which I mean like tax it properly. I personally, I know I'm rambling about cannabis here, but I have no one to talk to. But so I'm just going to keep talking about cannabis and what I think about it. So I personally think that post-legalization that they should tax it differently from recreationally to medicinally. I don't really believe that cannabis should be taxed for medical purposes. I believe that recreationally, though, yeah, sure, tax it, just like you do tobacco, just like you do alcohol. Your revenue from your casinos. Just tax it, and then take that money and put it towards something. I personally believe they should just earmark the tax revenues right off the bat. Like, put 40% into 40% of the tax revenue into improving the healthcare system in the respective provinces. Maybe focus it towards mental health. And maybe put 20% towards drug prevention for hard drugs and whatnot. Put 10% or 20% towards infrastructure, like to improve our roads. That's basically what I think that we should do. And instead, though, the Trudeau government seems to be just number one, dragging their feet, and number two, they just seem to be just taking their time. And I personally, when legalization comes, I don't think that they're going to fully understand the situation enough to kind of do what has to be done. One thing, though, that I should point out, though, is that task force, the government task force for marijuana legalization, or whatever it's called, I did like a lot of their recommendations. It could have been better, obviously, but you're never going to get exactly what you want all of the time. But I still don't think Trudeau's going to do it properly. Maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. But I don't think I'm going to be wrong on this one. If the way that history speaks, he hasn't really fulfilled any election promise yet. Or maybe, okay, that's not true. That's not true. He's fulfilled a couple of election promises, but he's also negated and backtracked on several really big ones. But I really have no one to talk to about this, so I'm not really going to get into this. Once again, just like I said earlier, I feel like a crazy person right now because I am sitting here and just talking. But fuck dead air. I'm not going to do dead air. But I am going to have a sip of my coffee. Gonna have a sip of my coffee. Oh, yeah. That's some good coffee. That is some delicious coffee. It reminds me of that movie called Office Space. Someone has a case of the Mondays. Well, I don't have a case of the Mondays because I have coffee. Coffee is amazing. It is amazing. But, yeah. So I have to have one more cup of I have the pasties right now. Immense pasties. So I'm just going to have one more cup. But, yeah. I'm actually just listening to something off the screen, and I'm like, yeah, like. I don't know where this music's coming from. It sounds decent. So much better. So much better. Well, yep. It's just sitting here. Just sitting here. Yeah, it's Tyson.
I don't even know what you were talking about while I was gone. I'm probably going to get angry comments on the video chat. Why would you leave that ginger on by himself?
Oh, you wanna know a really funny story? When I was in high school, I did like a internship thing or whatever with the local radio station in Nova Scotia.
You worked for a radio station for free?
yeah, basically, I was like, but because it was such like a small town, they were just like, oh yeah, you just like sit on the air with us for the afternoon, and I did that throughout like the semester or whatever, and they ended up not allowing me on the air anymore because I almost said fuck on the air.
Almost said fuck on the air.
Yeah, I almost said I fucking hate Alan Jackson.
Fuck is the worst word.
Everyone
that
in
you can
radio
say.
swears though. I've noticed. I've gone to a lot of radio stations just through like just things I've done in the past, and everyone seems to have such a freaking potty mouth.
You know, prior to the podcast, I think if I were just going to be a late night radio DJ, I'd probably end up just doing the whole thing naked, never saying anything.
Yeah.
They'd be like, why is the chair always so sweaty and smelly after the fucking 1 a.m. guy is in? Just
Gross.
Just like, hi, welcome to the sensual evening.
Just gross.
Is this beard hair on the chair?
He wouldn't even care at that point. Like, if he's a guy who's going to show up naked into a studio.
Well, no, you're going to show up with your clothes on, and when everybody's left and it's just you and the soundboard, you take them off and you sit there and you just don't let all of Radio Land know that your sexy, sultry voice is coming from a completely butt-naked person.
No one would know.
Nobody would know, right? Nobody would know. I bet you somebody's fucking done it. I bet you there's like radio.
That's the secrets of radio.
Oh, but it's funny.
There's no money in radio, though.
No, all the money was in the kickbacks from payola, and they ruined that.
What's payola?
What's payola? Oh, okay. So what you do is you take a band and you have a song that's supposed to be a hit single, and rather than letting it naturally become a hit single, didn't you intern in radio, or are you just asking me to explain this? Rather than naturally letting it become a hit single by being like, oh, I'll play this song because of its merit, you go around to a bunch of popular radio stations and you go, hey, I'll give you fucking 10 grand if you play this song a whole bunch and talk about how awesome it is. A very similar concept was used in the New Kids on the Block video, Step by Step, where they hired extras to do what looked like live concert footage but was actually a music video because they hadn't gone on tour yet even. Yeah, who was in the New Kids on the Block? I do believe we had...
I have no idea.
It was Marky Mark's younger brother was the young one in New Kids on the Block.
Joey Buffone?
What? No, you're talking about Joey Fat One from NSYNC. No, Marky Mark's younger brother. I need a...
Yeah, he was fat.
Yeah, no, he wasn't even. No, none of them were really fat. That's just how his name was spelled. It was Fat One, with Fatone. Fucking Robot Chicken did a whole skit on that in like season 3 about Enter the Fat One, where he goes and fights Britney Spears. Right?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, it was fucking epic.
Jody Buttafuoco, was he in it? Artie Lang.
You know, I'm not a big Artie Lang fan. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast and stuff like that, and it's not that he's bad or anything. Like,
I liked Artie Lang back in Mad TV, like back way like original season.
Will Sasso.
Yeah.
Fuck Artie Lang. Will Sasso.
Will Sasso was awesome.
Till he lost a bunch of weight.
We've talked about this, yeah.
Yeah, I've talked about this more than once, how Will Sasso never should have lost weight. He needed to get fat and die young like all the other fat, funny comedians, right? I'm trying to be a weird mixture of comedy and political punditry, so I'm going for more like an Alex Jones body type.
I've noticed.
Yeah, I've noticed. Thank you. I need to like beef up a little bit. I think that I'll always like if I just get some like muscle, I'll end up looking like the fucking Kingpin from the Spider-Man cartoons.
Oh yeah, true that. Like the original, like the cartoon Kingpin, right?
Oh yeah, you know the white Kingpin.
Yeah.
Before they decided that, like, no, you just make the Kingpin any color. In
No,
fact, isn't
no.
that kind
Well,
of...
you can, I
isn't
guess.
that kind of racist?
Yeah.
Because it's not like he was a good guy.
I've thought about this.
You decided to make the leader of a drug... Like, no, a black man can rise to leadership of an international drug and
Like
crime
of a
syndicate.
crime syndicate?
Yeah, that's really racist to imply that only white people can be in charge of crime. I'm sure that black guy has way more experience.
When I was a kid, because of Kingpin's lair was basically like the Chrysler Building in New York, in Manhattan.
Oh, Jesus
like, where
Christ.
like where like the wall opens up and it's the heliport.
Oh, yeah, and, like, nobody notices
I
this
always
ever.
thought when I was like a young kid, because of that fucking cartoon, that I was like, oh my god, that's where the Kingpin is. Like when they see like a real life picture of the Chrysler Building.
Oh, that makes a lot of fucking sense. The only place that actually is true is in Japan, where like the Yakuza corporate criminals.
Oh yeah,
And those guys are
Do
brilliant.
you know they have laws in Japan because of the Yakuza involvement where you have to for board of director meetings?
Yeah.
Oh man, I almost wish I had a computer right now. It's like you can only hold them on one certain day of the week, I believe, or of the year. Sorry, I believe. So you prevent them from like because they'd usually overpower the board meetings, and that's how they take over companies.
Oh, overpower, like they
Yeah,
show up with
they-
machine
No,
guns?
no, they just buy all the shares in the company. It's still they have like enough, or they threaten the board members, or they just take out. They'd install themselves on a board because they have enough shares to do so. And then once they have the majority vote on the board of directors in a company, they now control the company.
Yeah,
So the Japanese government have to correct. I wish I had it in my computer. Someone correct me on the chat or whatever if I'm wrong, but I believe it's like one day of the year that they can only hold director or shareholders meetings.
and
or
they have to
board
hold
of
them all at
directors.
once, so there's not enough
Yeah.
yakuza money floating around to slowly take over
Yep.
each company. Because I mean, if you ever watched Suits, I think season 3 was all about hostile takeovers. I really liked the first 2 seasons of Suits, and then it just went to shit after that. You ever notice in that show, and they even made fun of it in one episode, they're like supposed to be lawyers, and they've been working on a case for like 2 months and blah, 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 and then somebody just walks into a room in a scene with a handful of files and fires them onto a table. Boom! There it is. I solved the case. I blew it wide open, and somebody will just pick it up and flip to a random fucking page, and then be like, "You're right." And there's got to be like 60 fucking pages in there, and you're like, to the point where they made fun of it in the one episode. But he throws a thing down, like a signed confessional, and the other guy that they were negotiating with, rather than go to court, like, "Oh, fine, I'll give you what you want," blah blah blah. And then they leave, and the other's like, "How'd you get that dude to sign that?" And Blake goes, "Oh, I just typed it up myself and signed it with my own name."
Well, it's like when
Nobody
I,
reads
when
anything.
I used to watch the show 24. It's like, you know, Jack Bauer is calling Chloe O'Brien like, "Oh, I need the documents now, Chloe. There's no time." And then she's like on her computer, like she does a couple types on the computer on some black screen. "I've located the coordinates, Jack."
I would love to see the internet go down on 24. And then it's like just a fucking call with like fucking their equivalent of Shaw, like T-Mobile in the States, like waiting. It's like boop, 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 boop. And it's fucking T-Mobile. You get the best nationwide coverage. Boop.
Damn it, Chloe.
Yeah. What's wrong? The internet's down, Jack. A drunk driver ran into a pole and the power, like.
Damn it, Chloe. I need you to get the internet back worldwide.
Oh,
Jack, I only have 8 minutes. There's no time, Joe. I'm a federal agent.
I didn't even watch 24. I think
I
I watched like
loved it.
one episode. I know a bunch of people that did, and you get the premise from the show really quick with their
Oh yeah,
clocks and the multiple.
basically, people not from America are trying to harm America, and only Jack Bauer can save everyone. But the government's trying to get Jack because he's such a misunderstood person. That's basically the entire series, every episode.
See, I found it completely unrealistic, and I don't mean the terrorist threats. I
Totally.
just mean I get very little done in a day, and I work really hard. I don't
Right?
know what the fuck, right?
When does that guy sleep?
Oh, well, on the other fucking 24 hours the next day.
That's
That's the day after 24. It's just him in bed for like 18 hours. Boop, 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 boop.
So actually, it's an alarm clock.
Fuck. You know what? My dad followed religiously was Prison Break, and the second season where they're not in prison, I was like, this
Yeah,
makes no fucking sense.
right,
And then
like-
my understanding, season 3, they broke back into a prison or went to prison on purpose.
Yeah, I think he broke into the prison to break someone out of prison, but it's just
Didn't his
stupid.
brother like assassinate the president, and he had to go to prison. It was the prison he designed.
I
and
hated that show.
He put all these weird tattoos on himself and like dug a microchip into it. Like, it was just
oh,
like
that might be 24.
No. That was Prison Break because, like, I don't know. You have watching shit with my dad. I'm not like I'm actually watching, but like you're in a room and he's watching it, and like nobody can say shit, so you have to listen to it. He's got it like he's old, so it's turned up to 900.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, I mean he's not that old. He's in his 50s or whatever, but he's worked in the oil field his whole fucking life. Just like before there was safety stuff, he's beside a thing all day. Gag. So. You know, you have to yell at him, and then he's like, "Don't yell at me." I'm like, "I wasn't yelling at you out of anger. I was yelling at you because you're fucking deaf. You didn't hear it the first 4 times when I didn't yell at you, right?"
I get accused. I don't know why, but I get accused of yelling all the time. When like in my head, I don't think I'm yelling.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I'm like, do I have a hearing? Well, I am deaf as fuck.
No, that's why then, because then you can't hear the tone of your own voice.
Yeah.
I caught a.
So there you go. If anyone over here is listening, actually, if you ever think I'm yelling at you, I'm sorry. I'm really not.
I caught a cold one time, and I got an ear infection in both ears that stuffed them up so bad I couldn't see.
Right.
Right. But I was also fucking basically I was selling weed at the time, sort of thing. So you'd go to people's houses, and then you can't hear, and they're like, "What's up?" And you're like, "Oh, I buy the weed really fucking loud," and they're like, "Dude, my neighbors." And you're like, "Oh, I can't hear." Right?
I've got your bag.
Yeah, just like fucking loud. Oh, here's a good one. I was living in Duncan, right? And I used to have a phone number. It was like the Duncan prefix, like 743 or whatever. And then
Yeah.
Telus gave this to me. I didn't request it. It was 4207, 427, right? So I got this fucking landline back when like landlines were a thing for my apartment up at the Oasis behind the 7-Eleven in fucking Duncan. I don't know what they call it now, Paradise or some shit. And I sold weed in my apartment. So I get a fucking phone call the one day, and I pick it up the phone. Buddy's like, "Hey, do you got any weed?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, I got a quarter or whatever. What do you need?" He's like, "Yeah, it's still $50." I'm like, "Yeah, it's still $50." He goes, "Oh, you want to meet me at Old School Coffee?" I'm like, "Where the fuck are you?" He's like, "I'm in Mill Bay, Old School Coffee." I'm like, "Dude, I'm in Duncan." He's like, "Wait a minute. Is this?" And he says the fucking Mill Bay prefix, which was like 827 or some bullshit, and then my last 4207. I go, "Oh no, man, you misdialed. You got Duncan." He's like, "Do you mean I fucking got a wrong number in the Cowichan Valley and I still got a guy who sells weed?" He's like, "Fuck yeah." I'm like, "All right, well, you don't get a hold of your other guy, man. If you can make it to Duncan, I'll sell you weed."
That is awesome.
Oh yeah, it was fucking hilarious, right? Oh, back in the day, yeah, I used to be a fucking. I started selling weed in high school. I was like, and then they kicked me out of high school for selling weed. Ironic, but I was like a street dealer, and I had much less fat on me then because all I did was walk between the train station in Duncan and the Centennial Park. One day I'm walking to the park and I see a kid. And now you have to remember I was fucking like 15 at the time, so me selling weed to another 15-year-old kid, that's fine. Just like you can have sex with 15-year-olds when you're 15, but not when you're 25, right?
No, that would
Oh,
not
you
be
weirdos.
Cool. That would not be
The
cool.
people in Duncan know what I'm talking about. You know who you are. That's Duncan, BC. Anywho's,
I don't know how to respond to it.
yeah, no, neither do they. So this kid's just walking around with a $5 bill sticking out of his fist at arm's length, and he goes walking by me. I'm walking with my friend. "Oh, wait a minute." He goes, "What?" I just turned around, whipped a joint out of my pocket, grabbed his $5, and he looked all shocked for a second and shoved the joint into his fist and then turned and kept going, and he fucking smiles and keeps walking off. Now it's just the joint stuck out at fucking arm's length as he heads to the back of the park to fucking smoke weed. So, yeah.
Jesus.
Some things just sell themselves, right? Yeah, that was that part. A lot of funny stuff went on in that Centennial Park. We were drinking moonshine on a Tuesday afternoon as like teenagers in the back corner of this park that somebody stole from their grandpa, right? He made his way to the park, so it obviously didn't go blind, so we figured it was good to drink. Moonshine is just an unaged corn whiskey with a 51% or higher corn mash, if you watched any of Moonshiners. So we're in the back of the park. When I say the back of Centennial Park, before the community garden and stuff was there, no matter whether you parked at the end of the one street or the parking lot, it was about 150, 200 meters to get to that back corner of the park, which is why we hung out there, because the cops had to come from that side. So we see them show up, reports of teenagers drinking in the park. So we stand there and wave at them and smile as they get halfway across the park. And then we bolt into the bush. Turns out they knew something we didn't about down in the back of the bush there. There's like a water runoff slough there with like mud, deep mud. So we start jumping across sticks, me and my buddy, to get across. We've got the bottle of moonshine. We didn't even pay for it. And we miss and end up in waist-deep mud and manage to pull ourselves out. I guess the cops came across our friend and his girlfriend, right? And she was just hammered, couldn't hold her liquor quite the same. So when they had hit the mud, she tried to climb him and just pushed him further down. So when the cops get to the edge of the mud, they are about 10 feet out in it. She is trying to push her way onto his shoulders and is covered up to just under her breasts in mud. And he is up to his armpits in this shit. The one cop looks at the other one and goes, "Man, do you want him in your car?" And the other cop goes, "I don't want him in my fucking car." So they pick up a log, throw it into the mud, and leave. And just leave him there up to his armpits. And these are Duncan cops for you, right?
Oh my God.
We ended up walking home in our underwear, me and my other buddy, with the bottle of moonshine wrapped up in our muddy pants across town back to the group home. It was
I have I don't know. Even at my worst of times, I've always like consciously avoided moonshine because I just know it's just a bad idea. I think I've like taken like a shot here or there in my life, but yeah, no, just no.
okay. Well, it's bathtub moonshine is a lot different than you can buy moonshine now in the liquor store. And like I said, it's just an unaged corn liquor, right?
Yeah, but moonshine.
Now,
is
well, the term moonshine literally refers to that. Now,
Yeah,
the term moonshining, I think, it specifically refers to like
when people think of
illegal
moonshining,
making
they
and
think
selling
think
and
of like the
bootlegging.
bathtub moonshine.
Yeah. You can make brandy too, which is when you make a liquor mix with fruit instead of with corn mash, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which that brandy, yeah, you can get a whole bunch of different flavors and stuff. This is all from me watching that damn
I used to
moonshiner
make
show.
my own beer, like from scratch though, like off a stovetop and everything.
Oh, well, really? See, I've never made beer. I'm not familiar with it. I got friends who make wine. They make lots of wine.
I made wine once or twice.
Yeah, good wine.
Well, from a kit.
Yeah.
That was just from like the box wine or whatever. I had in my younger years, I used to work at a place out east, and I made wine, but I had a keg and like a CO2 tank in my fridge.
Okay.
So basically, I'd use it for beer, right? Because I didn't want to like ferment them in bottles. So instead, I just keg it up and just have beer on tap when I
Oh,
make
that
it by
makes sense.
myself. And yeah, I used to be a beer snob. I'm not anymore. Now when I see all these hipsters go around and like, I'm not okay. I don't mean hipsters in a bad way either. By the way,
I always do.
yeah, but like all these beer snobs, like it's like, oh yes,
No.
beer snob, and I'm always like thinking to myself, like, yeah, I'm drinking Lucky, but like, it's funny because I've been there.
I drink
I can
Phillips
relate.
now. I primarily drink Phillips, or I'll drink the White Sails from the White Sails Brewery down there, just down from Cannabis Club, just down from
Yep.
on Front Street across from the park.
The old foundry.
Yeah, the old foundry. The White Sails, you just go and you get the growlers. I mean, you pay for the initial deposit on the growler. We're up to 3 of them now at the house, so I go in, we fill up with like 3 different types of beer. I just drank their Snake River, which I guess won some
Nice.
awards. Yeah, it was a dark. I usually drink like a lighter IPA. They've got a really nice 7% IPA. So you,
I've heard really good things about them, and it's also like really neat to have like it's always good to support local small businesses and
Yeah.
what they did down there to make it into it's like a microbrewery on site. Is that correct?
oh yeah, and you can watch the guys filling kegs off on the side behind a
That's
thing
so
there.
cool.
I mean, I think it's going to get to the point where I get enough growlers that I'm just going to have to start picking up like a mini keg if they have. I don't even drink that much beer, but it is nice to come home at the end of the night and just like pour a nice mug of beer and then have a drink. But that Snake River was like a dark beer. It was the sort of beer you want to sift through a mustache to just get that extra bit of like manliness, right?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, you don't. Yeah. You look like you'd get a freaking suntan from a dark beer with your pale complexion.
Oh, oh, brother, hold my beer.
Old baby. Yeah. We
One of my favorite beers is actually chocolate porter. Speaking of a dark beer, 'cause
Oh,
it's like very like
I do.
it does not taste like chocolate.
Yeah, that is the whole thing. Is there are if you follow Bavarian purity laws, which list only 4 usable ingredients in your beer: water, hops, yeast, and oh shit, like water, hops, yeast, and I don't think it's sugar. It might be sugar. I don't think so. Let's get
like
the Google.
grains. Because you have to have
no.
some sort of grain.
I'm gonna get the Google. It's the oldest food law on root beer, apple pie, moonshine. Oh, somebody's commented. Yeah, Ray Gallion. Root beer or apple pie moonshine, $15 a Mickey. Lol. Nice. I'm super interested in what's in the root beer moonshine. All right,
Yeah.
I am.
Oh,
Yeah.
is this like a flavor base? We shouldn't be giving away his ingredients, his secret ingredients.
Well, okay, I'm not going to give away his ingredients, but I'm interested in having a drink of it. Well, I better invite
I've had
Richard.
apple pie moonshine before.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's just apples
drank.
and cinnamons being added to it, or
Yeah.
pumpkin spice. Okay, I'm gonna
But
put
I
this
have,
out
I've
here.
drank it before.
Fucking, you
but
say to
in an
people, oh, it's got pumpkin spice in it, and then they go, I don't like pumpkin. Now, there are a group of people out there that are going to immediately understand why I think that is retarded, but I have to explain this.
No.
Pumpkin spice is basically nutmeg and cinnamon and allspice that's mixed together in equal amounts. There's no fucking pumpkin in it, right?
Mhm.
It's the same set of spices that they use in butter tarts and apple pies and everything else.
What about
So
like the taste? Maybe they just don't like the taste of like they probably things like pumpkin.
I'm going to
pie.
say that probably about 10% of people actually don't actively like the taste of pumpkin, right? So when you say I don't like pumpkin pie, it's usually a texture thing. But I'm
Yeah.
going to say that fully 90% of people, when you say, "Hey, I'm going to go get a pumpkin spice, whatever," and they go, "I don't like pumpkin," are straight up retarded. I mean, sorry, just really, really dumb, because that's It's a fucking pumpkin and pumpkin spice. I'm drinking.
I actually didn't know that. Like, I never really correlated the two because I just figured it was just some like factory chemical spice or whatever. But like, I didn't really think too much about
I'll
it.
put pumpkin spice in a smoothie sometimes, like a pineapple smoothie. If you're just like doing a pineapple and banana smoothie with like yogurt and shit, and then you put some pumpkin spice in it, it kicks that up to a whole nother level. It's really good.
I like pumpkin spice, like on, for example, pumpkin spice muffins with the. Wow, I just hit my funny bone thing on my knee.
No.
But
And you ever accidentally just punch yourself right in the dick by mistake?
I've done that occasionally, accidentally. But yeah, pumpkin spice muffins with the cream cheese frosting, it's the fucking best. But at the same
Fuck
time,
yeah.
pumpkin spice lattes, I don't like sweet drinks.
You know
I
why the
like,
pumpkin
like I
spice-
drink my coffee black.
You know why the pumpkin spice lattes tend to be a lot fucked up is because they're actually like,
Syrupy, right?
well, they're trying to put an artificial pumpkin flavor in there and the spice, and that's where it gets all fucked up. That's where it gets weird, and that's where you get these confused people who, when you say, "Hey, I'm going to put some pumpkin spice on that," like, I don't like pumpkin.
Would you have a Starbucks pumpkin textured pumpkin like frappuccino, where they just take the pumpkin shit, like the pumpkin lard, pumpkin filling, and throw it into a blender with maybe just like that much milk, just enough to loosen it up a little bit.
The only time I ever drink
Would you drink it?
Starbucks is when somebody else shows up and they're like, "Here, I bought you a Starbucks," because I think it's super rude to be like, "No, I'm not gonna consume that thing that you gave me." Now, this has actually led to some where I try things I wouldn't normally try, food and stuff like that, just in a quest to be open-minded. Like if you show up and you're like, "Hey, I brought you some fried donkey penises," I'm like, "Oh, are you eating these too? Oh, okay, it's not just some fucked up joke. All right, I'll try this to not be rude." But that being said, you couldn't catch me in a Starbucks. Their whole thing about how they were going to hire 10,000 illegal immigrants, that was the final nail in the
What?
coffin. Oh, yeah, down in the States, the Starbucks founders' response to Donald Trump's immigration ban was saying that Starbucks over the next, 5 years is going to strive to hire, 10,000
Oh my God.
refugees
over
or
the
something
next
like
5 years. I mean, that's bullshit talk. And
Oh,
that's public relations.
It's kind of
talk.
racist the way he put the Starbucks people put it, but that's not even it. Their overpriced coffee tastes like fucking somebody brewed it through a sock, right? You pay more. Okay, so if a liter of gas is like $1.20 and a half liter of Starbucks is $6, right? And gas came from dinosaurs, and Starbucks comes from something that they grow a new crop of every fucking year. Who's stupid?
From like a third world village in South America.
Oh yeah,
It's
it's probably not even free trade coffee. I'm going to trade you a free
yeah.
punch in the face and a couple pennies for all your coffee.
Mhm.
Man, what is their fucking logo? It's like a mermaid
don't even get
lady
me
with a
started.
split tail. I don't right. Anytime I go and order a smoothie thing or anything like that in there, like I tried their vanilla bean thing and they give it to me and I'm like, what are the crunchy bits? And if they just take like beans and like half grind them in a coffee grinder to the point where you're like fucking trying to eat whole coffee beans, and plus their menu tries to make you intentionally feel stupid. I go in there and play really rednecky if I ever do have to go. I'm like, I want a large, like a venti. I'm like, is that the big one? I don't speak fucking Mexican. It just dicks with them.
Yeah, I hear you on that one. I go with I just don't like to bother with it. Like I'm not a regular enough customer at Starbucks where I know the system. I don't know the process.
Yeah.
And I don't care to know either. And so when I go there, it's because I need coffee and there's nowhere else to go
Yeah.
in that walking distance. And like I'll just be like, I'd like just give me a medium coffee, please.
And then they're a dick about it.
Yeah.
Do you mean a cent?
Although they've toned down. They've toned down in the recent years. Like they've gotten a little bit more accepting, I've noticed. Maybe it's just me, but I remember like back a couple of years ago. Holy shit.
Oh, I found it. Okay, the revised Vorlefigs Besterzers. It's Burgers. I cannot speak. Provisional beer law in brackets of 1993, which replaced the earlier regulations, a slightly expanded version of the Reinheitsgebot, stipulating that only water, malted barley, hops, and yeast may be used for bottom fermented beer brewed in Germany. So those were the original 4 ingredients for a beer:
Barley.
water, malted barley, hops, and yeast. Well, no, because people, so back in when you got a beer with chocolate hints or whatever before, it's because you found a hop that had those sort of overtones, or you found a combination of hops. Hops and cannabis are from the same family; they're cousins. Right? This is an argument for intelligent design. Beer and weed come from the same family of plants. Weird. I'm not saying I'm not saying I believe intelligent design. I'm just saying, like, if you're
If
going to
it's just
design
right,
some
it's
shit,
just
it,
right.
it just makes sense. You know what I mean? So they probably hang out in similar climates too. Now the people are like, oh look, I got this grapefruit flavored beer, and like there wasn't grapefruit flavored hops. They added fruit to beer, and that's not fucking beer. You've gone and poured a cider in my beer. Although I do know people that do Crown floats down at the pub in Crowing Gate in Cedar, which is like an old English. They don't have a deep
yes.
fryer. They don't have TVs.
They're awesome.
fucking
though.
awesome garden.
Very like authentic English.
Yeah, so people do these Crown floats where they are floating like cider on top of Guinness or something like that. The lighter one sits on top of the other one. And I guess it's really weird. I should really try one sometime. I think to myself,
Oh,
it's not my
absolutely.
bag, but wow, that's a closed-minded sort of opinion. You know what I mean?
Oh, true that.
Yeah. Oh shit. We just got high and wandered off conversationally.
Actually,
What?
I got to.
Go?
What time is it? Yeah.
I don't think you have to go anywhere. I don't even think you have a real job. I don't know what you do. It's 107. It's 107. We only started this.
Oh
hour.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're like, I don't know how long I talked to myself. it was the
I do
pumpkin
have a real
spice.
job though.
Oh, okay.
I feel like I should clarify to listeners just in case.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know they still had bathroom attendants in nice restaurants.
No, although I will say this, I've only once in my life in one town in Canada have I ever encountered like outside of a big city, have I encountered a bathroom attendant, and it was in a small town called Leduc outside of
kidding?
Edmonton
Really?
and in Alberta, and holy shit. Like, it's like, buddy, I don't need you to fucking dispense soap for me. I'm a grown-ass man. I can fucking wash my hands. No, I'm not giving you money. Like,
Oh, fuck.
why are you here? Why are they allowing you to fucking be here?
So wouldn't it be funny to just dress up really nice and then go stand in a
bet you
bathroom in a
could.
place you didn't
I
work?
bet you could.
Start pulling this off.
So-
The problem
Sometimes when I I'm trying to quit smoking right now, but back in my younger years, there we'd stand outside like the Palace or the Old City pub. Me and my friend would just having a smoke, and like college kids would come in just because we're both in leather jackets, and they'd like just give us their IDs, and we're like, man, if we were assholes, we should just charge $5 cover.
I was about
or
to say, why
something.
weren't you charging these fucking retarded kids a cover? Like,
My friend wanted to.
oh yeah, because your friend was an entrepreneur, right?
Oh,
I mean, I guess it can be technically if there's two of you involved and you're making money, that becomes a racketeering and protection racket.
yeah, I have the entrepreneurial mind. I'm just smart about. what I
We're
do.
not charging a cover for the pub. We're just charging a $5 sidewalk fee to cross this bit of sidewalk into the pub.
I left the Maritimes to get away from the Trailer Park Boys.
Oh.
Get rich quick schemes.
Jesus Christ! Why didn't you want to go and fish? Come on,
Fish.
Yeah, I thought that's what they did in the Maritimes until they let all of the
Well,
bunch
yeah,
of foreign fishermen come in and rape our fish. I'm not literally rape our fish, figuratively rape our fish.
No, the federal government did just fine doing that themselves
Yeah.
back in the day.
Oh, apparently there
And
used
the
to be
provincial
so many
governments.
fish out in the European explorers would come over and they'd run into these shoals of fish that they said they figured you could just get out and walk across, right? I mean, I don't think anybody tried it. You would have just drowned in fish, but theoretically, yeah, they would just dump baskets over the side and pull them up full of fucking fish.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
what they
oh,
do-
and in the Grand Banks or yeah. Oh, it was right outside Newfoundland, basically, with the cod.
Yeah,
back
yeah,
in
that
the
was
day.
caught. Yeah, yeah. You know what's really terrible is the like pollock fishing industry and that what was it fucking haddock. I went in somewhere to get fish and chips the other day, and they didn't have halibut up. They had haddock, and I got served some goddamn haddock when I was down at another pub where they just said fish and chips, and I was like, oh, it's the fish and chips. They didn't tell you what it was, and I get it, and I'm like.
the fish and chips.
I'm like, this isn't right. She goes, oh, it's haddock, because it's any of the bottom feeding fish. Like halibut swim around down there eating other fish and shit like that, and like inhaling stuff. I think haddock is a straight up like giant fucking oceanic catfish style fish that just eats other
Seriously?
fish shit. Well, that's what pollock is. Pollock is just a bottom feeding fish. Crab live on Arctic snow. If you don't know what Arctic snow is, it's the bits of other fish and shit that float down from upper layers, right?
Right.
And shrimp. They are like the recyclers of the ocean. So when you eat a fish, you're just eating recycled, or when you eat a shrimp or a crustacean, you're eating recycled other fish's shit. Have you ever watched like Blue Planet or whatever, where they watch it, where just giant Alaskan crabs pick a whale carcass to death that's been rotting on the bottom of the ocean for like months, right? They like time lapse this whole thing.
And we pay money for that. Like
You are what you eat.
mm-hmm.
Did you fucking Strange Wilderness where the piranhas eat their guy Dick, and then they're like stuck in the woods. They catch a bunch of the piranhas and they're like eating them for their revenge. And somebody's like, "Wait a minute, if these piranhas ate Dick and we're eating these piranhas, aren't we eating Dick?"
Oh my God, that's a very good point, actually.
Yeah,
Holy shit,
yeah.
that's a damn good point.
Yeah, so I kind of I avoid crustaceans. Plus, didn't you know you can get like they've got a lot of heavy toxins in them. So if you eat a bunch of them like constantly all the time, you can build up almost an allergic reaction to them because your toxin levels rise so much where you're fine, and then you go and eat some shrimp and it pushes them over to the level where you react, and then you go back down and stuff like that. So why do I want to eat something that's laden with heavy toxins? Plus, like red tide and shit like that. I don't know. It just how many people have been killed by shitty seafood on bad cruises?
I'll tell you one thing though, I miss lobster so much, like
Yeah.
maritime lobster or Atlantic lobster.
Back at the turn of the
Fucking
century,
miss that shit.
lobster was considered a garbage food.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
servants had it written into their contracts that they were not to be fed lobster more than 3 times a week.
Because it was like like they feeded it prisoners.
It was a trash food. Yeah, they'd actually catch it while trying to do other things. But
It's a giant ocean bug.
yeah, giant sea bugs. That's what I've always called anything crabs, fucking
Yeah, it's a
prawns,
fucking
just
bug.
big fucking sea bugs. I mean, you know how nobody's eating horseshoe crab?
But it's so good.
Apparently, well, horseshoe crabs apparently, which have been around since the time of the dinosaurs, unchanged, have like a blue blood, which carries all sorts of cures to a bunch of fucking diseases. The problem with this
You
is
sound like
that,
a mushroom forager.
no,
I'm
this
just
is to
joking.
watch.
So
They were trying to breed the horseshoe crabs in captivity so that they could do research on them, but they couldn't figure out why they wouldn't fucking breed, and it has to do with the fact that they have to go back to their own sand. One of the main breeding grounds for horseshoe crabs is the Hudson River in like New York,
Ew.
and it's gotten a little polluted,
Just
right?
a
So
little
the
bit.
crabs population was dying off. So it was like fucking years they were trying to figure this out until a researcher went and like basically scooped up some Rubbermaid containers from the sand on the beach there, and then took it to their indoor thing and put it in the bottom of the tanks, and then they made their horseshoe crabs fuck.
Oh wow.
You know, if we're gonna be, I actually have. There's a poster on the table. Did I leave some? Hey. One of you two over there, Justin. Can you pass me the poster I left on the table? I left a couple of posters on the table there. So, tomorrow night, I'm going to be down here. I have some guests coming in. Oh, that was good. From Nanaimo's local burlesque community. They do the monthly show at the Queens.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, okay, here we are. And they've got a show coming up that we're going to be talking about and everything like that. It's a Fetish Night series by Pussycat Playground featuring electronica music by Applecat. So it should be interesting. There should be some
Nice.
interesting guests. I think they're bringing a bunch of friends. This even has a dress code on it. This sounds really interesting. It's from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. Friday, March the 10th. And the dress code is all black, fetish attire, sexy dress, or kitten cat wear strongly encouraged, no jeans. So these sound like a really interesting group of people
Yeah,
to talk
I'm intrigued.
to. Yeah. So they'll definitely be one to tune in on if you want to get more into Nanaimo's underground. And there's also a March 3rd show that is coming up, being put on by the same group. I think it's called Sugar and Spice Rainbow Equinox at the Harbor City Theater. That's March 3rd, right? Looks like advance tickets are $12.50 and general admission is $15.
Decent.
Yeah, apparently there's information if you call or text 250-900-4858, right? Or you can order online at lumyn8.com. Kong. I need to start a new web browser. .kong. Smash. Right? And yeah, it's her name is Jen, who is coming in, and she's going to bring some friends, hopefully.
Oh, cool.
So I'm hoping that'll be an evening podcast. They seem like evening people. Work better for them, and I'm really looking forward to that. Hopefully you can make it down.
Oh, I'll be here.
Oh, you'll be here.
Oh,
And,
yes.
hopefully we get some people there in the audience part of this a little later in the day.
Big
so
time.
it should be fun. Also, if anybody's looking to be a guest or knows anybody who they think might make for some interesting conversation, you should probably get them to get in contact with us or send them on down.
Yeah.
Let's check out the chat and see what people have been going off about. Oh, and didn't you say you had the admins of the Nanaimo rant and
Yes.
rave site that were going to come
so
down?
so we have to figure out a day that works for everybody. But yeah, we got an administrator from Nanaimo Rant and Rave. And what we want to do is get an administrator from all like the major, Nanaimo shit talk sites, basically.
Oh,
And
you mean
let's
there's more than one Nanaimo
Oh,
shit
there's
talk site?
Nanaimo Rant and Rave. There's
Okay.
Nanaimo Rant and Rave. Anything goes.
Isn't there a confessions one too?
Nanaimo Confessions.
You really
So,
kind of add me to some of these, I think.
Oh, man, I tell you. So, I was like thinking, okay, if we're looking for interesting guests and interesting topics of conversation, let's get a couple of the admins down here to talk about the craziest shit, basically, that they have encountered on,
I want them to talk
on
about
the
the stuff they
Nanaimo
wouldn't
Facebook.
let through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. I have some questions.
Yeah, I have some
I have
fucking
some
questions
fucking
too.
questions that need answered.
Let's see what's on Rant and Rave right now.
Yeah,
I'm going to pull this
check,
up.
Check out Nanaimo Rant and Rave. I believe, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that the Rant and Rave Anything Goes is someone like got blocked or something. So now another one is launched.
Okay,
I might be wrong.
I'm on the Nanaimo Rant and Rave Anything Goes.
All right,
That's the
see,
one I'm on.
That's where anything goes.
Yeah,
'cause
now
it
this
says
is the
so in
more serious. So
title.
you must have people from the one I'm not on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So let's get some people from the Anything Goes.
Well, I'm not going to reveal names.
Yeah, I know.
But I've got people bitching about the snow. The city has no snow budget left because they wasted it all on hockey events and event center.
Well,
Well, rant to the snow, and that's somebody with a vote yes thing up as their icon, right?
they're
Rant to snow
pissed.
rant. Posts about how this, yeah. Oh no, what she's ranting about is how people are bitching about shit they don't know about. So she's
Oh.
from the yes camp. I'm getting this now. I am getting this now. We've got somebody else, a rave to anyone who can tell me what the green liquid under my car is. But that is, I'm pretty sure that's antifreeze. You should probably let your cat drink that. He's
Or a
like,
Slimer got melted.
he's like, I washed it away down my drain with a hose and more dripped. Rant to my daughter's cat for opening up my Tim Hortons box and eating the last donut. Oh my god. Okay, I've had that. I had I had that fucking thing happen to me. Except there was 4 donuts left in the box on the counter, 2 of which were apple fritters, and then 2 of which were 2 different types of donut. I come out in the morning, the cat has knocked the box off the fucking counter, and it's open, but the donuts are still in the box, and he has sampled each donut a little bit, including both the apple fritters. That little fucker was like,
What do you do?
I don't like. This is a cat. This cat, unfortunately, this cat passed away. But this is a fucking
Oh.
cat who I was sitting there watching TV, just high as fuck, holding a sandwich like out at arm's length, and I look over because I feel like sandwich vibrations in my hand, and the cat has leaning out from the arm of the couch as far as he can and is eating the sandwich in my fucking hand.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. And then when I caught him, he was like, "Oh fuck, he's gonna fucking whack me," and he ran right. This is a cat that would hide on top of the fridge, and when you'd walk into the kitchen, he would just smack you upside the head, and then he would glare at you, right? And then if you tried to like poke him back, my buddy had taught him how to box, so he'd go up on his hind leg. It was a fucking deacon claw. So you just
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, man.
That's fucking awesome, actually.
This is a cat who we were out picking magic mushrooms in the field down in Duncan, and I brought them back to dry out on newspaper, and then we come home, and there's the fucking cat in the middle of all the Liberty caps just chewing them and rolling around in
I
them.
bet.
And then he was just nuts for like 2 days.
I bet.
Oh, yeah. No, I did not feed the cat drugs. The cat fed himself drugs. I wouldn't feed the cat mushrooms. Those things are hard to find if you're picking the peeled ones.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Not that I would know anything about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just joking. I take mushrooms regularly.
Yeah.
Not regularly, but I take them like
Not like you take fiber. It's not
no,
like a one
like
a day.
once a year. I just do like a mental reset.
I
hey, what's up, man?
Oh, is this your friend who was coming in?
That's my buddy Jared.
Oh, cool. Jared.
Yeah, Jared actually, he's the host of the Cambioke down at the Camby Bar downtown Nanaimo.
Cambioke. Okay, we're going to have to get him to explain what Cambioke is here in a minute. Just come
Yeah.
on in. The camera's
Come
up
on in.
there. We might have to turn one of these wireless mics back on.
Oh, yes, that's true.
I think they auto turn off if they haven't been used in a bit.
Oh, really?
Okay, here, try that.
Hello.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
they
there we go.
designed them because most of the people in the music industry are on some form of narcotic, you
Yeah,
know, and then
it's
you
true.
forget to turn off microphones.
Usually, yeah.
Sipping on syrup.
So, Jared, welcome. I'm Tyson.
Nice to meet you.
Hello, Jared. I'm Matt.
Nice to meet you, Matt.
Nice vintage hoodie.
No,
No, it's a reprint.
it's a Walmart.
Oh, nice.
Oh my God! You know, I'm pretty sure if Kurt Cobain knew that was being sold at Walmart, he'd shoot himself again if he could.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I love the
definitely.
Foo Fighters. And
Oh,
it was
yeah.
it was a shame
Dude.
that band ended
Uh,
when Kurt Cobain died.
Oh yeah, but like Dave Grohl, have you ever
That's
wished
right,
into the? Most of my music knowledge comes from Alan Cross's ongoing history of new music,
Oh yeah.
right? Which are really fun to listen to. But you listen to his thing on the Foo Fighters and how he talks about how Dave Grohl lied about his age and traveled across the country to join Nirvana,
Yeah.
right? To replace their old drummer who had borrowed Kurt's car to go get fucking drugs and fucked him over. So then he joins the band and. Nobody thought it was going to be the drummer who went on and ditched it. It was Dave Grohl who recorded Marigolds or whatever. It's a completely different song or whatever. It was some of his shit, and it seems like they just threw it on the back of an album. But
Right.
apparently he's been described as a really nice fucking guy. Like the sort of guy who'd come to your house and help you move and then be like, oh, you don't have any pizza money? I'll buy the pizza too, whatever. Unlike, I've heard stories about Billy Corrigan, who apparently is just like
Oh,
not even a, yeah, you can't, yeah.
Don't get me started on him. Holy crap, that guy's a piece of crap.
Yeah, so I've had this argument with people like, okay, so if you can write really powerful lyrics, but you also can't be worked with by anybody, versus somebody who is just like a facilitator for the entire music industry, who is the better musician or whatever. And then, so my argument always leads to Dave Grohl is better because people go, yeah, but I think Billy Corgan can write better fucking lyrics. I'm like, yeah, but he can't work with anybody.
Exactly,
Yeah.
I just finished reading.
Oh.
Damn it. I think we need some batteries really badly.
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Just gotta keep turning it back on and off.
No, we'll sort this out here if I can get someone's attention from over there. Oh,
Yeah.
well. Oh,
So,
well.
so like I was saying there with Jared, like you're the host of it's called Kambioke down at the Cambi, and I bet you get some crazy drunk motherfuckers.
Oh yeah.
Like I bet you've seen some shit. Oh, his mic cut out again.
Hey, can we get some batteries? This mic is toast.
And
I can just speak really loud.
No, that doesn't quite work. Here, why don't you do a dab? There, that one had died on us too. I think we'll use that one for a minute while we hunt some batteries down. Do a dab in the meantime. This is a sativa.
sweet.
There we go.
If those are the batteries from under the counter, they're the ones I took out of it. Those are the ones I just took out of it.
Oh.
Yeah, they are double A's. I have a pack of batteries around here somewhere. This is the problem with
They're always there.
the marijuana industry is that we are often. Oh, are you gonna live? you want to go back in and finish that?
No, you can take it.
All right. We'll help you out here. Here, mate, why don't you help him out?
I'll smoke some on the way down here.
Wait, were you using a dab rig on your way down here?
No.
Oh, okay.
Vape pen.
A vape pen. Oh, okay. I do like the vape pens for various reasons.
Oh yeah.
I got to quit somehow I picked up the smoking again in the last 2 weeks. It's weird.
Smoking.
Stupid socially acceptable drugs.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I got to same thing I did the last time. Just smoke so many vapes through a vape pen that it overcomes your need to smoke cigarettes.
I'm now on day 6 without cigarettes.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, it's nuts. And
Holy-
every craving I have, I'm like taking it like every. I'm not even looking at big picture anymore because it used to be like, ah, forget, like I'm not gonna walk for 10 minutes because I need to have a cigarette.
Yeah.
Now I'm just like, I didn't have money for smokes for like one day, and then I was like, I felt like an asshole. I was actually here, and I felt like an asshole bumming the smoke from I think it was Tyson actually,
Check.
and then I was just like, well. Looks like I'll just wait, and then the next day where I had money to go buy cigarettes, I was just like, yeah, it's been a day. I'm just gonna kind of let it ride and just
as well.
fuck it. Let's
Yeah.
see how far I can go. And now I'm just every time I have a craving, I'm just like, nah, you're better than this. Screw that.
Yeah, I got to get back on that train.
Do you
Yeah.
do you find yourself eating a lot more?
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of
And
snack
a
foods.
lot of
and-
coffee. I tell you, I drink so much coffee.
Yeah.
Like when I walk, I make like I have a. I almost to make my hands like have something in my
yeah.
hands and
Yep.
shit.
Yep. Oh yeah.
I was doing
And cannabis helps.
I was
of
making
course.
cold pressed coffee for a little bit. I have
Mm.
this 32 cup container, and I'd put 2 of those Nabob packs, the nice Nabob, like
Yep.
the 1886 or whatever. So you pour like 2 of those in there and let it sit in the fridge for 24 hours, and then you strain it.
Oh, okay.
right? And then you get this. The coffee interacts differently when you add no heat to it, and then let it just leach. And oh my god, it's like an all natural energy drink. You drink it and you just be jacked, and it
Oh, I
tastes
bet.
awesome. No sugar, no
Oh.
cream in it. Just yeah, but it was like the 32 cup thing would make me 4 days worth of coffee, and I'm putting $20 worth of. So it wasn't even like a cost thing. I just time, and I kind of stopped doing it. You'd be there in the kitchen for straining coffee for fucking half an hour.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about your karaoke then. Please
Yep.
explain when it is and what it is.
Kambioke is every Tuesday down at the Camby. Just standard karaoke with a little bit of a Camby kick to it.
Okay.
You get the nice riff raff coming in there, and it goes from 10:30 to 1:30.
Ooh.
So it's a nice late show. You don't really get those late night karaoke's in Nanaimo right now. So
No, you don't.
they're usually over around 12:30, 1 o'clock. So that extra half an hour keeps the party going.
So
They have a piss trough in the male washroom where it's
They do.
literally
yeah, I've
literally.
experienced the Canby washroom many times.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever actually gone to the washroom in the Canby washroom.
As long as you're standing up, you're okay. Most of the time.
Anywho, I also haven't been to the Canby in a while though. Yeah. It's a really nice bar. It is where I'd prefer to go downtown. I actually used to hang out there with Slags when they
Okay. Yeah.
played music as a band.
Yeah.
Anyways, so what sort of music do you karaoke then?
You get a lot of metal,
Oh, really?
metal, hard rock, a lot of rap.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. And then like all the classic like 80s power like ballads and stuff like that.
We used to, because we used to do karaoke, well, like not put it on, but attend it at the courts in Duncan before it became a shithole.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it was like, I don't know, actually it was more of a dive bar when we were there, and then they decided, you know what'll make any bar better? VLTs and pull tabs.
Oh shit.
Oh, I know, right?
Fucking pull tabs.
And then let's put some big screens up and put on some fucking hockey games of a team that's losing. Just make the whole place suck a dick.
Vancouver.
Any
Pretty much, yeah.
one of the things we do is we would write other friends' names on songs
Oh,
that none of
okay.
us knew, and put them into the thing and shit. And then like they're hammered, and there's like you're there with 15 people. You just yell at them until they go up.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, it's fun.
Yeah, you get that a lot. Get that a lot at the Canby usually too. Like a bunch of guys come in there for like a birthday party, and they'll make their friends sing like "Share" or
Oh.
like it's pretty terrible stuff.
I think it'd be funny to pass a jar around and have people write song names from your karaoke book in, and then have people just go up and they have to reach in and pull.
That would be funny.
Oh, it'd be fucking
It's like
hilarious.
kamikaze karaoke.
I
Oh,
believe
yeah.
that there should be more karaoke competitions. Like I believe that there should be as a fan of karaoke and I who goes to karaoke's often here in Nanaimo. I think that every bar should have like a karaoke champion, do their own individual goddamn tournament,
Karaoke jam.
and then it's like the NCAA, like whatever the hell their
Brackets.
March Madness shit is. I still don't understand it, but like it's basically a bunch of brackets. Yeah.
Oh, we could do it in the
And
park.
then you could have like the champion
Yeah.
of Nanaimo leading up to bathtub races.
Oh, that would be good.
Snap.
That'd be funny.
That's a great idea.
You should go challenge other bars like Flipadelphia. You know, in fucking It's Always Sunny. Just
Yeah.
go into another bar and lay it down. Challenge. Right?
That would be awesome.
Right.
Holy.
A good way to bracket that would be is if it's a best out of 3, the first evening you do it at your bar, and then you bring your team to their bar the next evening, because then you at least get a night. If you lose twice in a row, it's over,
That's true. Yeah.
right? And then
Yeah.
you can flip for whose bar starts, and if it goes one round and then another round, you got to get the applause meter so some asshole with his arm.
And there needs to be a
True.
wild card
Yeah.
space too.
The
So-
wild card.
wild card.
Oh, we get competitive about everything.
I think I kind of like that though. I believe personally that competition is what drives us as a society and what kind of advances us as a
True.
society.
Yeah.
People knock like capitalism, for example, and I'm not really a huge fan of it. But at this, well, I don't. Okay, wait. Well, let me take. Whoa.
Who's
Let
going
me
to trade
two
you a
steps
rooster
back.
for a plasma TV?
I think there are flaws or faults in capitalism, but at the same time, I like the idea of just competition, just driving.
I don't know what
and-
perfect universe you fucking live in where
Oh.
life exists without faults. So I got a really serious karaoke question as someone
Yeah.
who runs it. Okay, to auto-tune or not to auto-tune?
No.
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 You think it ruins the spirit of the karaoke?
I think so.
Yeah.
There's karaoke that auto tunes.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a more enjoyable experience for the people in the bar listening, so that they don't want to like fly from the
Yeah.
thing.
Why?
It's weird. I don't know.
Well, it's because they want people to feel like they're a diva. They want people to feel they want people to sound the way they sound in their head in the shower.
Oh,
Right.
okay, I see.
Yeah.
Huh.
But I think it shits on the experience.
Yeah, I always say if I want to go to like fucking American Idol, I'll go to fucking American Idol. If I want to go to karaoke, I know what I'm expecting. I'm going to participate. I suck. I'm not a good fucking
Yeah.
singer, but I'm up there singing.
You want to see people
it's
suck.
Fun. It's
and
fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to do this thing, right, where you get together with your friends and you go to bands you all don't like just to yell boo. This sucks. Get off the stage all night. Crowdsource some Justin Bieber tickets just to go there as a group and be a fucking asshole.
That would be funny. Holy.
Oh, I know.
I'd be down for that.
Just don't film the stage. Film yourselves the whole time. Just being just a dick tax you don't like.
I personally think there needs to be a bar that will do like a shitty band tonight, or they openly advertise like we found the best shit we could find. Cover $5 to go see Jimmy and the fucking shit fucks from fucking North Cowichan or some shit like that.
So, do you think the karaoke experience could be improved by handing out a bucket of koosh balls first so people could vote by? You suck. Eat koosh, you son of a bitch. Well, don't you remember Rocky Horror when you'd fucking throw toast and shit at the stage?
Yeah.
Oh my god, audience participation packs were the shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
You were in Rocky Horror.
I was.
Actually.
Oh, who did you play?
I played Riff Raff.
Oh, fucking, you're a little short and.
Yeah.
What did you? It was an all midget production
so
of
interesting
Rocky
that you
Horror.
brought that up, actually.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, you were in the.
Oh.
For people who don't know what we're talking about, it was like a live production or a stage play here in Nanaimo.
How long ago was that?
It was back in November.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Actually, the only time I've ever gone to Rocky Horror Live was here in Nanaimo. It was in that theater downtown. I don't know if it's still standing. It was like 10 years ago.
The one on Victoria?
It's got like the down parking lot that looks super rapey when the theater's not actually like.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah. You need super rapey parking lot.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. That's where I spent my Tuesday evenings, just stalking the woods. Fuck. Wow, that's awesome. So do you guys do? Yeah, are you part of a theater production group then? Or-
Schmooze Productions there.
Oh, really? What do you have any upcoming stuff?
They have auditions going for Little Mermaid and stuff like that right now.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
I used to do live theater in high school, not part of the high school drama thing, but part of an extracurricular group in Lake Cowichan.
Yeah.
Doing sound and light and also acting. So.
Oh, okay.
Wow. So are you auditioning for The Little Mermaid?
Probably not, no.
Really?
Yeah, I think I'm taking a break from the
You
whole
too
musical thing.
Bearded to be a mermaid?
I think so.
Yeah.
You would
Yeah.
make a great Sebastian, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it'd save on makeup.
Not French enough.
Yeah.
Not French enough? What? Oh, fuck.
Wasn't he French? Like, I don't know. Sebastian is
was
the
French
crab,
name.
right?
French
Yeah, no,
crab,
the-
yeah.
Oh,
No.
Sebastian.
Yeah.
Am I just being like racist? Not racist, but what are you good when you're?
I don't know. I want to get a load of psychedelics into my brain and go and
Oh my
fucking
God.
live action Little Mermaid,
If
though.
you were on mushrooms, what Disney movie out of all of them
Oh.
would you choose? Oh, actually, no. It has to be the old school animation. It cannot be the new.
Well, yeah, son,
generation
I
animation.
went to The Little Mermaid in theater for my 5th or 6th birthday,
Mm.
right? I mean, like, no judgments, but like Disney is Disney.
Yeah.
Whatever, you go to whatever Disney.
We
thing's
all grew
in.
up on
Yeah.
Disney.
Like, fuck yeah. And like back when they actually had to draw that stuff, you made a decent musical score.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
man.
But yeah, I think, and I'd love to go to The Little Mermaid just fucking stoned and watch that shit.
That would be pretty funny.
It
yeah.
would be.
I'd be down.
I'd
too.
go to like Aladdin.
Or
Oh.
Lion King.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
in Rocky Horror, did you guys project the movie in the background and act in front? Because I know there's a couple of different formats for when people do Rocky Horror, right?
They had like a backdrop, but we were doing all the acting and everything like that.
Okay, cool. So it was like a full play production of
Yeah.
it. The one I saw was like a half production where they were playing the movie and then had people coming out and playing. It was interesting. It was nice to watch the movie and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So did you hand out all the water guns and everything like that? for
They
the
gave
audience?
out like prop bags and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's the best show because you can sell the prop bags and raise more money for your theater
Yeah.
and shit like that, right? The audience packs. It was
Yeah.
awesome. So, back to your karaoke.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this traveling karaoke? Like, do you do it in more than one place? You're just the Cambia every.
I'm every Tuesday at the Canby, and my friends do the Palace on Sundays and Wednesdays.
Sundays and Wednesdays. Do you have like a karaoke machine? You just
It's like a laptop with a hard drive and a soundboard, kind of like this one here.
nice.
Yeah.
So do you think stoneroki could work out at the Dab Bar here?
Thought about that.
Could work, yeah.
Yeah.
It would probably be like a different vibe than like a liquor karaoke. Like, you know what I mean? Just 'cause you got like stoners.
Yeah.
Well,
But
I
I
think.
bet you it'd be like sweet.
Ooh, he's made some large dabs. I think the best way to
Thank
do
you, so.
dabioki would be to do a karaoke where you don't put the lyrics up. You have to get them really high and make them try and remember the song. And then the first thing you play is "Blinded by the Light."
Yeah.
Nobody knows
Did
the
you-
fucking
did-
lyrics to that.
Did you know that for like a long, long time, when I heard "Blinded by the Light," like I thought it was like "Blinded by the light, wake up with the douche in the middle of the night." I thought that was the actual song lyric
I thought you were held up
for
like
years.
a douche.
That could
Yeah,
work too, though.
yeah.
That could also work.
Are you telling me you don't know the lyrics to "Blinded by the
No,
Light"?
I
as a
do.
karaoke? Okay, you're
Yeah.
just waiting to see what we say.
No,
Mm,
I'm just listening to what you guys are putting out there.
I thought it was held up like a douche. I don't know.
No,
It
it's
was
something
revved
like
up.
revved up. There's no douche though. The douche,
No.
it's like a deuce.
It's a deuce.
Deuce.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
revved up like a deuce.
Yeah, revved up like a deuce.
I'm pretty sure the actual lyric doesn't make sense.
I think that I
It-
also
oh, no,
I
it
almost just
doesn't.
prefer it to like I prefer to like be blissfully ignorant and just go back to what I always thought it was, and I'm not just like, but I'm the worst for that. I get lyrics where I karaoke, I fuck them up all the time just 'cause I just don't.
Yeah.
I'm drunk.
My favorite lyric ever is fucking "Pick a Destiny," the Sasquatch song, where partway through he's like, "These lyrics don't make sense. I think you'll find the evidence. Sasquatch
Yeah.
is my daddy, and he's gonna protect me." That is epic. Oh, I think we got you a little baked over there. Go. I have no idea. Someone brought us a platter of balls. I think it was Shane sent over a ball platter. We don't actually have a Patreon. We just have stoners that sit in the club.
Oh my god.
Is that looks like Wacky Wax.
This is Wacky Wax?
Pardon? Okay. I did
All the
not
wa-
catch that. What?
All the wax and strawberry cough.
All the wax and strawberry cough. I'm going to be...
All the wax. I feel all the wax. Thank you, brother.
Now, wax is not as dense. I'll clear this bong for you.
Thank you.
I was clearing it for him. This has a diffuser. This is the greatest bong. All right. Yeah.
I'm going past it right now.
I don't think that's how that works.
No. Live on the couch.
Yeah.
Nah.
It's a peer pressure sort of setup. He's like, I already can't talk.
No, not right now.
Yeah.
That was a sativa we gave him earlier. I don't even know what's in the Wacky Wax. Fuck. What do you do besides karaoke then? You look like that's your hobby, or you
No, it's a paid job and everything like that.
is a paid job? So
Yeah.
you work one night a week?
No, they got 2 nights a week at the Canby there. I also do the minute to win it games.
Oh, okay. I have no idea what that is.
It's like you get 60 seconds to perform these little stupid bar tasks.
Oh shit! So it's like bar gaming.
Yeah.
Wow. Because I've often wanted to do a pot Olympics here.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, everybody, the end of Beer Fest. I just
Yep.
imagine
Ah.
what's through the door with Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I really want to put that on. Right.
Yeah.
You seem like the sort of guy who could really help organize that sort of thing. I was thinking like artisanal joint rolling, right? Like where people roll joint shaped like things. You need like a team, right?
Yeah.
And then like
Yeah.
maybe speed joint rolling where you slap a half ounce of weed down in front of each team and they got to roll
Yeah.
joints with it,
Yeah.
right?
That would be a lot of
Pretty
fun,
cool.
actually.
yeah. Then you do a chain smoke a couple sessions later where they have to smoke powerfully all the joints they rolled.
Yes.
I've put a lot of fucking thought into this. I want to do a weed estimate where
Yeah.
you need to we give you 2 piles of 2 different types of weed, and you need to estimate a gram, an eighth, and a quarter. But there's well more than that in each of those, and you have to use at least one type of weed in one.
Oh, jeez.
And the other, so you've got one's a dense weed and one's a light,
Yeah.
fluffy weed. And so, what do you use? Do we try and use the dense one for the fucking eighth, and then the team that gets closest? Oh yeah, I've thought of a bunch
Yeah.
of these fucking things.
That's
Oh.
rad.
Yeah, Weed Olympics.
Weed Olympics. That would be sweet, actually.
Yeah.
I could see like even like right on this floor right here. I could see a lot of things happening.
You know what? We could do it here.
Yeah, like Beer Fest. Like as soon as you said Beer Fest, I'm a visual thinker. So I like
Yeah.
think in pictures. So as soon as you said Beer Fest, I immediately thought of that last scene. And like, and then I started looking at like, dude, you could totally do like weed Olympics here.
Well,
Yeah.
what do you do in your mad minute tasks or bar tasks thing? What sort of stuff do
The
you get people
stage
to do?
here is bigger. The stage here is bigger than the Cambies, I think.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, it's much bigger than the Cambies.
Yeah.
Like what's, yeah, what sort of bar tasks do you get people to do?
You got like, I don't know, like stupid little games like you gotta use elastics on your fingers to shoot down like 3 cards from like 8 feet away. Then you got a minute to shoot all 3 down.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
That sounds difficult while you're drunk or have been
Yeah.
drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that makes it so much funner
no
Like,
doubt.
watching these people like fumble around and stuff.
So
like
do you
that.
have classics like quarters and stuff like that?
Yeah.
or-
Yeah, stuff like that, like bouncing quarters into cups.
Nice.
The
You do flip cup?
No,
What?
cool,
not yet. Not
cool
yet.
thing too is that Jared actually has they have like a screen like with the minute they win it graphics and everything. They got like this like the music and all that shit too. It's actually pretty dope.
Yeah,
Wow. No flip cup.
we'll probably get it.
You'll
Yeah.
probably get
Oh,
it. Yeah. I actually flip cup is I don't even drink that much, but when flip cup gets going, I'm like, oh, fuck that, I'm in.
Yeah,
I just get competitive, right?
yeah,
I mean, it's flip cup is the shit. And if you don't know what we're talking about, it's where you have to drink your beer or partial beer and then set your cup on the edge of the table and flip it and have it land
yeah,
very specific way,
yeah.
right? Do you-
Yes.
beer pong?
Kind of. Yeah,
Kind of
a lot of like ping pong throwing
at
things and
stuff.
stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah. My mom used to run
Thank you,
clubs,
brother.
and there was a lot less regulation in clubs back in the 90s, especially in Alberta. Would you like a water?
sure. Yeah,
Here, you take this one. I'll interact
Thanks.
with the next. I have a juice actually still. I'm drinking this apple orange peach by Sunripe, available at our concession. I actually really like a little bit of Di Serono and then some peach-based juice and Gibson's together
Oh, okay.
in ice. So like it's like 2 ounces of Di Serono, 2 ounces of Gibson's, and a splash of juice,
Yeah,
like the amount you'd add to sour mix,
yeah.
sort of thing, with enough ice to float. And it's quite tasty.
All right.
Mm-hmm. A couple of maraschino cherries if you have them. Right.
Yes, I do drink my whiskey with ice, and no, I don't think that's a big deal.
Yeah. It's scotch you're supposed to drink warm from a specific glass, right? There's a difference.
Yeah.
There's a difference. Fuck.
When in Rome.
Mm. Well. Oh. So, how long have you been in the bar games business then?
I don't know, like a month.
Wow, so this is fairly new then. That's awesome. So we're advertising. See, someone
But
Who claims to be the
you've been hosting
co-host.
events. He's been hosting.
Yeah, I've been hosting events for almost 10 years.
Oh, okay. So this is a new event for
Yeah.
you then, hey?
Yeah.
Jesus, we shouldn't have got him fucking so high. That was an awesome response.
That was the greatest
Oh my
fucking response
God.
ever.
I'm so happy.
Fuck.
It's-
How long have you been doing this? Like a month.
Did I tell you we're having some burlesque people on later this
Yeah.
tomorrow night?
Oh, really?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
burlesque show from the Queens. They've got some upcoming events besides the ones at the Queens. They're going to come on tomorrow evening.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Yeah, from the sounds of it, they've been doing that more than a month.
Yeah. Probably.
Probably. Actually, my buddy Kaiden does the Monday thing down at the Canby, the Monday Night Metal Trivia.
Yep.
Which I have yet to attend because I'm a shitty friend. Although he has yet to come back with the dump receipt and my $40 from picking up the garbage at the side. Kaiden, if you're listening, sack of shit. Fucking. I'm gonna come to Monday Night Metal tonight just to punch you
Live
in
on
the
the
solar
couch in
plexus.
Bays, Monday Night Metal.
Yeah, that's the best
Metal
place
Mondays.
to punch a person. Everybody goes for the fucking face, right? But if you hit them in the solar plexus hard enough, which is the area right between your like man tits, then you just go down and start doing the harp seal,
Yeah.
and it is hilarious. If you're unfamiliar with the harp seal, walk up to somebody, punch them real hard in the solar plexus, and you're like, I get it, I get it.
Fuck.
You're an asshole.
What? It was one of my mom's friends who taught me this when I was 12. You know how he taught me this? He goes, all right, if you ever have trouble, just punch him in the solar plexus. And I go, where's that? He goes, right here. And he just hammers me in the fucking center of the chest.
Holy
And I just dropped. And he's like, see how you can't do anything? Now I could kick you if I needed to. And I'm like, my mom's friends were bikers. Yeah. He's like, "Jesus, what the fuck?" Here's some insight into how I am as a human being. So we used to live in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. My parents sent me to visit my grandparents at the end of the school year. My school year, I mean like grade 1. Get out of grade 1. Had the same friends for kindergarten, grade 1. 6 years old. It's 30% of my life, right? So she sent me to visit Grandma and Grandpa outside of Grand Prairie for a month, and it was a 12-hour drive from Saskatchewan to Grandma and Grandpa's house. And then it was a 15-minute drive home because they packed all our shit up and moved to Grand Prairie and didn't tell us we were moving.
What?
Yeah, like a month later they pick us up. My brother's like 1, doesn't remember shit, but I'm like expecting to go back to school and see all my friends.
It's like,
and
we're moving.
everybody I know, and they're like, we're going home, and we drive home, and it's like a 15-minute fucking drive, and we now live in a different town in a different province, and I start a weird new school in a week. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. I related this story to my mom some years later, and she was like, yeah, okay, it sounds kind of fucked up when you say it. Like, yeah, Ma. Yeah. Oh.
I grew up in a military family, so like we lived in like a new community every year or two or a couple years, like
Yeah.
so I was kind of used to starting in new schools and whatever. But like, but everyone else too in the same you're in the same situation because everyone gets posted to another province.
And they
but, like,
told you it was happening?
yeah,
And-
but like that's the thing, they give you a little bit notice.
Yeah.
Like, but just be like, I can't even imagine being like, I'm gonna go see my friend Jimmy in the first day of school. No, you're not. We're moving to whatever the town that you said.
So I got a follow-up story to the first one. I call this the traumatizing part 2.
oh shit, oh shit.
About 13, just finished the school year living in Grand Prairie, Alberta. This is the town that they move us to. You moved to from the Saskatchewan, and my parents come and visit the island for 2 weeks with a friend. And then they come back and they go, pack your shit, we're moving to the island. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, doing it in 2 weeks. Right? And I'm like, but I'm 13. I've just gotten into going around town and wrecking other people's shit and kind of stealing stuff. Like, why? Although I grew up in this sort of town where if you owned a bike, it was going to get stolen. So the best thing to do was just look down alleys and spot a stolen bike and then ride it across town and leave it and hope you spotted another one within a... You know, it's the crime capital of fucking Canada right now. Grand Prairie, Alberta.
Grand Prairie.
Grand Prairie, Alberta. Yeah.
Well, shit.
So, I mean, there's this, yeah, you kind of forget the second time happens too. Where there's like, pack your shit, we're moving across another province. But I really like the island. I was glad about that one.
Yeah.
I love the
Yeah.
island.
They moved us to Lake Cowichan to grow pot.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a great place. Fuck. So are you from the Nanaimo area originally?
Born and raised.
Born and raised in that hospital?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I've been to that hospital, but never for anything good. I always I thought it's better than the Duncan Hospital, though. Have you ever attended the Duncan Hospital?
Mm.
The world's most sarcastic nurses. They're like, how did you get that up there?
I was at the Parksville Hospital when the lady doctor informed me last fall that I had overdosed on cannabis. And that's why I was violently throwing up and violently ill.
Oh, I thought you were going to be positive for herpes.
No, but I'll tell you one thing. Like, you always hear these stories, but I was always like, no rational doctor who at this point in time and this year could say that. And then when she said it, I went to argue with her, but then I realized, like, my girlfriend at the time had just driven away. I don't live in Parksville. I'm just at the Parksville Hospital because that's where I was getting violently ill. I realized I'm all by myself, and it's me and this doctor who has a certificate or whatever claiming she's a doctor.
Yeah.
So I'm about to argue back, and I'm like, I'm fucked. I'm so fucked. So I'm like, okay, all right. And she's like, you've overdosed on cannabis marijuana. How much cannabis marijuana did you smoke? And at this point, I'd spoken like a little tiny bit at like 4 a.m. And so I'm like, I don't know, like a bowl. How much is a bowl? I don't know, 0.3 of a gram, ma'am. You overdosed.
How old were you?
This was like last fall in 2016. She gives me, and then she's like, I'm like throwing up.
Does
violently.
Parksville have the internet?
It was so messed up. It was so messed up. She said that I had overdosed, and then I was like, well, I tried to self-medicate. She's like, oh yeah, well, who's the doctor in this room? And you can't argue that.
Yes, you can.
I'm not. Like, it's not going to stop me from not using cannabis, but at the same time, it's like me versus the doctor, and I'm in the hospital. Like, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, yeah, which I can't argue it. It was just so fucking crazy. Like, in 2016, which was the year that it happened, she's like, yeah, you overdosed on cannabis marijuana. No, I did
Yeah.
not.
Well, I know how she got her doctorate then. I'm pretty sure that was a Justin Trudeau
Like a-
equality
Like,
push.
like
It's
probably like a
2016.
Catholic school in 1979.
Oh, Jesus
shit
Christ,
like
that's
that.
brutal.
It
That
was
is
horrible.
hilarious.
Felt
Parksville.
so helpless.
Fucking
Problem.
retarded.
Yeah.
I use that word too often.
I was about to say something. I was like, say white people problems.
No,
Me bitching and moaning about what I was just bitched and moaned about. Like,
Yeah.
totally white people problems. And I caught myself because I was like, nope, don't want to be
that guy.
don't want to be that guy. And then like
I
2
know.
seconds later, Tyson just like retarded. It was
Yeah.
like,
What? No, I just didn't want your gingerness to be lumped in with my proud
no, it's
heritage.
fair.
No,
It's fair. Give you props.
no props.
over. Oh, actually, Jared's ginger.
I know. I realize I'm surrounded. I can get it from either
Told you.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually why it's down
Dirty
here, because
gingers.
when we opened the podcast today, we were actually talking about gingers.
I
And,
talk about it at least once a day with you
Ja-
here.
Jared headed on down because he's no, I'm bullshitting.
Yeah, you put out the ginger call. It's just like a red flashing light.
It's like a mental thing. You just like you blink 3 times and it's like an
ESPN.
emergency call. Like
Oh.
ginger's within like 100 feet. Yep. It's gonna. Meanwhile, in the conspiracy sites, some
Oh,
moron.
I was gonna
Gingers are
talk.
taking the wall for the world.
We wanted. I was gonna fucking talk. I didn't get the stuff set up in time, but we were talking about. Did anybody see that big chemtrail plane the other day that circled the sky?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was down at the down at Diana Krall Plaza for a rally, and I actually watched the plane do it. And,
And then a blizzard shows up. Hey,
I don't know how to respond to that. What do you
Blizzards-
mean?
Chemtrails cause blizzards.
But was there any like was it a chemtrail? Like
Yeah.
I don't
have
know.
we checked the news to see if like
Was
like,
it a blizzard? Did we
pilot
check
was
the
drunk?
temperature?
Well, I watched the pilot make the it was like, and I commented to someone who was down there with me. I was like, it looks like is the pilot drunk or is this like an emergency? Is the plane having to do like an emergency turnaround? But then we because it kept doing it or whatever, and it's like, what the? Is there like an
I
air
have
show
a
going
theory.
on? Did it come from that American base up in
So-
Nanoose?
You've got your pilot's license. You own a plane, and you're bored, right? And you like to troll people. So what do? You
Right.
just go up for the afternoon and circle and make some air wash above a place like Nanaimo, where at least a third of the people are going to look up and go, "Fucking chemtrails." And
Very
especially-
interesting point, actually.
I mean, like, trolling people is pretty well the greatest part of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of dig it. I dig it.
Sometimes I say ridiculously stupid shit to people
a
just
point.
to see how far they'll try and explain back to me how wrong I am, and they get about 3 sentences in and realize that they've just been like fucking in person trolled.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty well the greatest feeling.
I can relate. I can relate.
Is the sun out now? Or no, I still see little flips of snow. Yeah, we wanted to have a big discussion about global warming, and by big discussion, just people sitting on the couch arguing about how it exists or doesn't, and the snow is a pretty good component for it not existing.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's snow in February.
Well, I mean, down here, there's snow. The rest of Canada has snow in February, but the rest of Canada also owns snow plows. So
And that's why all of us non-people who have lived on Vancouver Island for a while, that's why we moved here. That's why I moved here to not deal with the winter. So
Yeah.
I know how we could deal with the snow, right? What we do is we just give the homeless people Flammenwerfers. And
what's that?
oh, you're not familiar with the Flammenwerfer?
No, let's explain for the listeners.
Oh, it's just the German word for flamethrower.
Oh, oh.
Oh, alrighty then.
Yes, and Hans, get the Flammenwerfer. It's fucking right. So they're already wandering around doing fuck all. We might as well have them clear the streets.
It's true.
Yeah.
Give me a juice
Look how
box and
high
back
Jared
rub.
is. Jared looks fucking high.
Oh, yeah.
I'm high.
He's high
He's
as
high as
fuck.
shit. He's
Yeah.
high as shit. I think the problem is you need to go deeper, and then you'll start to just rant about shit.
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
There's a reason the text in the Matrix is green. You need to go deeper. Fuck.
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 Oh, look at those guys. Do not light another cigarette in here. I'm looking at you, you stoner. I know. People get fucking so. There's a reason we don't let people drink or come and smelling like alcohol to the dab bar, right? Because it's just like an unpredictable combination. People already get so stoned they forget what they're doing, and then when they combine that with alcohol, there's a lot of people
Can be a
that
very bad
Yeah.
combination.
they hit the dab bar up downtown before they go out for the evening, so they must come to the Cambie, just dab to the nines.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I know where you were.
Yeah.
Fucking eyes need a micrometer to measure their openness.
But you see some crazy bar fights. They're just sitting up on that like stage there, just running the karaoke, or even at the Palace or whatever.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, you're kind of like separated from it, so like you don't have to like deal with it.
Yeah.
But like you always get like random people, like just morons, like
Oh, yeah.
any other bar or whatever. But
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
it's probably interesting to like the Eagle's Nest,
Yeah.
a view of the
know.
fuckery.
Yeah.
I felt like I want to fight some hipsters lately, so I kind of want to order myself a fucking mega hat, or the one I really want is let's make Istanbul Constantinople again, and then just like wear that into the vault
Yeah.
and just stand over. Right. Right. Oh.
Oh my god. Yes.
I'm pretty sure I could take like at least 4 regular vault patrons before it started to get a little overwhelming.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't know.
Depends on what time of the day. I mean,
Dude, I could drop 2 of them right away just by being like, there's only 2 genders, and they would fucking trigger so fast they wouldn't even be able to fight me. They'd be like, nah, nah. And then I'd work on the other 2. They'd
Yeah.
come out of their stun.
Oh, that's good.
You gotta
Wow.
use Jedi mind tricks to help win these fights, right?
you gotta defeat them mentally.
Yeah. Fuck.
Because there's a zero tolerance for violence.
Yeah. No.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
And here comes the... I'm just joking.
oh my god, he said careful. Ricky has said careful, they'll attack you with their selfie sticks.
Ricky's correct.
He probably is. I've got apparently these are legal in Canada because I bought it at a gun show. It's a telescoping wand,
Okay.
right? But it's got a pink handle because they only have the women's ones left. So what I really need now is a koosh ball to glue to the top of it, so that it just looks funny if I ever have to defend myself. It's actually I have it for the girls who are here, right? Just
Yeah.
in case.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know. Yeah, but it would just I want the YouTube video off of the security cameras with the koosh ball fucking wand if they ever have to like
Koosh
stop
defense.
a robber. Yeah.
Right.
He was gonna rob me, so I whipped out the koosh ball and just cracked him upside the dome with it. Fuck. I'm gonna log back on. We have a live chat actually that goes on here. That's
Oh,
my
yeah?
phone. Yeah. Until I get a computer over here where we can link the YouTube thing in from there, I never actually see what the people are commenting there. I've got the people who messaged me. Oh, it's 159. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's. I don't know. You act like you have this real job thing. Don't you have like flex hours? You've never told me what you actually do. You just allude to having a job and then leave. Right? You could be a
I
midnight
have my own
cowboy.
schedule.
Yeah. I have my own schedule. You do like a Marky Mark Studio 54 thing. What? That was an awesome movie.
I know. It
It
was
was
very
fucking-
dope.
It was a baller
very
movie.
dope.
Oh, and Boogie Nights.
Oh, I love Boogie
Oh,
Nights.
fuck, that was an awesome
That
movie.
was a good movie.
They are not really making good movies anymore. They were talking about that strike. Hollywood's going to go on strike, and somebody on Occupy Democrats Logic was like, "Oh, maybe we'll get some good fucking movies then if all those assholes stop
Yeah.
working." I love Occupy Democrats Logic.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
pretty funny,
Oh, I follow that one a
and they're
lot
very true, and they make a lot of damn good points.
because there's logic at the end of it.
Exactly.
Dude, I finished out 1984, and they're talking about how they have to train yourself to have a blind spot in your mind so that you can accept logical fallacies, and that's the only way that you'll convince yourself to be a communist. Right? What?
No, I'm not. I'm just-
Now you always get back to communism?
no,
No.
I'm just listening.
Just listening. You're fucking high as fuck.
Just listening.
So how many songs do you have on your karaoke thing?
I have no idea. It's like 180,000.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
somewhere around there.
So how big is this machine?
It's just my hard drive.
See, that's what I'm
The
talking about.
karaoke machine.
The files are in the computer. Fuck. we were talking about my friend Kat, who works at the Dab Bar, was going off about how when she was like dancing at a festival the other week or whatever, break dancing, she ended up elbowing a guy who ended up kicking her and shit, and it was like not on purpose. I was like, holy fuck, you're break dance fighting, right? And all I could think was relax, don't do it. Like, that was the best fucking scene in that movie where the DJ and Zoolander.
Yeah.
Or no, it was Hansel he was fighting with, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, cool.
Owen Wilson.
Cool story, Hansel. No, it's Hansel.
Yeah.
Fucking. When you were sandwiched between the midget and the Sherpa, I thought there was a real connection between you guys. Fucking movie was awesome. The
It was
second one
pretty
was
awesome.
okay. The second one was good. The first one was really good. I guess it took Ben Stiller so long to do stuff because he fought off testicular cancer.
Oh wow.
He was just like really quiet about it. He just like fought testicular cancer. Oh fuck me, Bill Paxton died. Unless that was a rumor.
Yeah. No, it's for real.
Oh my god, yeah, Bill Paxton died. Wasn't he in fucking Aliens?
Yes, he
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, he was. It's game over, man. It's game over.
Mm-hmm.
That's the fucking best line in that movie.
He was, yeah, it was a little bit surprising. I don't know much about it, but apparently from complications from surgery.
Complication. Well, it wasn't fucking. When celebrities die of a drug overdose, then they just call it heart complications.
Yeah,
Right. I'm gonna add
Yeah.
to this.
pretty
Anybody
much.
name some Bill Paxton
But they
movies?
did say surgery, though.
He was in Terminator.
Oh fuck! Which
He's the guy with the knife, with the like tire mark down his face.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the first Terminator there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a dude in Twister as well.
Yes.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
fuck yeah, he was in
Yeah.
Twister. I want to try and do this without Googling. I'm actually just adding somebody else to the group chat here. It's so lame when you just fucking Google the answers about that shit. Although we did that with the purity laws. Yeah, he was always like a support guy for the most part, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't think Bill Paxton fucking starred in anything necessarily, or I
I
might be
don't
wrong.
think so.
Maybe some B movies or whatever.
No.
I mean, you always recognize him. You know who I noticed? Did you ever see Being John Malkovich?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. After I watched Being John Malkovich, I then went back and, like, not intentionally, but then you watch movies you'd already seen, and suddenly I fucking recognized John Malkovich and a bunch more shit. I was like, oh shit,
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
John Malkovich.
yeah,
Big
This
time.
is John Malkovich. Like, he was the goddamn Russian dude in Rounders opposite Matt Damon,
oh, okay.
twisting all the fucking Oreos.
Yep.
Yeah, that was John Malkovich there.
Okay.
He makes
Yeah.
a lot of just random cameos in those like quirky like
Yeah.
crime but little slight comedy but like mystery suspense.
Apparently Samuel L. Jackson will be in anything because he just likes being in movies.
Yep.
That's how he ended up on Snakes on a Plane, which was
Yep.
awesome. That Snakes
Yeah.
on a Plane was fucking epic. His role in
Price
that was
is
awesome.
right. He'll do it.
Yeah, it was. Samuel L. Jackson got 8 in fucking Deep Blue Sea, wasn't that?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And little known fact about Samuel L. Jackson: the L in Samuel L. Jackson stands for motherfucker. It's an internet
Fucking
meme.
right.
Goddamn Pulp Fiction, one of the
Oh.
best movies.
Yeah.
Somebody asked.
I love Pulp Fiction.
Said to somebody the other day, I was like, pass me my wallet. They go, which wallet is it? I was the one that says badass motherfucker. And he started looking for it. I'm like, no, my one has nothing on it. But I just, no, I need to go and get a sticker. It says badass motherfucker and put it on my wallet, right?
Oh my
He's got some classic lines. I think he was awesome.
Oh
Yeah.
hell yeah! That's it's a movie I can only watch like once a year, but it's one of my it's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
We're talking about the naloxone kit that we've got over there, right? And because one of us knows how to use it. And I was like, so how do you use it? You just like, stab them because it's talking about the pulp. And they go, no, it goes in a leg. And you know, like stab her. So I like stab her 3 times in the chest, and then she says
So it's
something.
important to be properly trained for those kits
Yeah.
because otherwise, that's what I would, before I got the training, that's what I would assume. Like,
Yeah. I was just
Pulp
gonna
Fiction.
fucking YouTube it while
Yeah.
it was happening. Whatever. This
That's
one's in
your
God's
best
hands. We'll
bet.
see if the
It's
internet
actually very
connection goes
important.
through.
It's very
Yeah.
important to note, and that's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
Like, because most people don't have, if you do have access to it and don't know how to use it, fucking use your data on your goddamn phone and use the shit.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think I would find myself quoting the priest from The Fifth Element. I'm just walking
Oh
around.
my god, I forgot about that scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's overdose. You're like, yeah, all your empire with drugs and bullshit come crashing down. One little overdose. Fucking-
Yeah.
Yeah, take this time to teach a moral lesson before you bring them back up.
Oh shit, eh?
I went off about this the other day. Every time they bring somebody back with an naloxone kit, they should tattoo them, and then on the third go, they just don't bring them back. Like, fuck it. You had 3 kicks at the can. You clearly didn't learn. Fuck. It's not the worst solution.
No.
No.
True that. that. True that.
Nobody disagrees when I say that. They think it through, and they're like, "You're not being unreasonable."
I just think it's more complex. It's a complex issue. Like it affects like mental health issues. There's a lot of other.
Well, didn't we? Haven't they legalized assisted dying? Right. So, at what point in
Not
time when
for-
you almost kill yourself? Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're just calling out.
Or maybe
Yeah.
people just want to be like fixed.
Maybe they
Like,
want.
they're
Maybe they just
broken.
want to fix. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I understand this.
Like I can understand like if you're in like a couple times. One time I got too stoned when I was in downtown Vancouver, and me and my girlfriend at the time we ended up somewhere. We were in Gastown, but we ended up on East Hastings. And then, so we're walking, and really, what really kind of pissed me off, I saw that was the first time in my life I ever saw, like, someone up close and personal injecting themselves with a needle, believe it or not.
oh, really?
Yeah, and it was, like, broad daylight on a Sunday, and it was, we were...
The Lord's Day, nonetheless.
Yeah,
Oh.
and not that it was a big deal to me, but it was just like, oh, shit, because I'm looking, I see, like, Vancouver police are all, like, they're there, and quite frankly, with me and my girlfriend at the time, who's, like, she has a Lululemon bag and Starbucks and, like...
Chucky was going to steal her Starbucks.
Well, no, actually, because I knew there was cops.
Sell that $6 coffee down the street.
There were fucking police, like, right there, where, like, they were allowing all this stuff to happen. They didn't give a shit about these poor people.
Oh, so what do you want him to do? Take that drug addict to jail?
No, it's like I said, it's a much more complex issue. I'm just describing how I felt, like, as it happened.
Yeah.
And we go through, and I knew that, like, if anyone laid a finger on us, those fucking police who were, like, right there, they'd, like, be on that in a shithole second. But at the same time, they don't really give a fuck. They're just allowing, as long as they stay within their confined areas, it's like out of sight, out of mind. It's like the Olympics. When the Olympics happened in Vancouver, there is a huge upsurge in just transient homeless here in Nanaimo because basically they evicted all of the Vancouver.
They
people.
filled an empty apartment building up in fucking Gold River with homeless.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they made the rent so cheap and paid the rent direct to the apartment building. They literally
They're
shipped
giving
like
them
3
ferry
bus
they're
loads
giving
of
them
fucking
ferry
homeless
tickets
to
straight
Gold
over
River.
to the island here.
And during the Olympics, that's what they did with them. They shipped them to Gold River because Gold River, when they killed the logging or some
Yeah,
shit
that
up
town
there, the town
died.
emptied. Yeah, I used to deliver ice up there for fucking Island Ice.
Oh,
Mm.
fuck.
So that's where they shipped a bunch of the homeless during the Olympics. But honestly, like, whether you think the Olympics is stupid or not, we fucking won a lot of medals and whatever, man. We could.
Oh, that hockey, dude! That gold medal game for the hockey was
Yeah.
like memorable. Like
Yeah.
like fuck.
Yeah, you know what? We could have shipped those homeless onto a fucking iceberg and set it adrift to to get that hockey game. I would have not said shit. You know what?
I wouldn't have, but to each
Yeah.
his own.
You know, back in the day, you had to make blood sacrifices to the gods for your team to win, and they sure did that when they built that fucking luge track. What? You didn't see any of the conspiracy thing that they uncovered about that? How they knew it was too fast, and they fucking had recommendations to build that side up, and fucking.
Yeah.
Considering the people
And-
who did the construction on
yeah.
it doesn't really surprise me. You know.
Yeah.
Well, I
Nanaimo
mean,
had
the
their fair
guy
share of
building a
problems with
luge
them, too.
track is not necessarily what I'm talking about. Is the guy who designed it,
Mhm.
who had designed
Oh.
previous luge tracks that were almost fucking unrideable in their edge to push it and stuff like that. And then they didn't put the
Right.
padding up they were supposed to because
Mm.
of the cameras. It would have fucked with the camera angle,
Oh,
you know, for the luge.
That's you.
Yeah.
Well,
Some
I do have
people
to sneak
say,
away
you
though.
know, we can't
Unfortunately.
believe Jamaica's got a bobsled.
I love that movie. It was. I do actually have to sneak away
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So
So what now? So now let's just go over the nights of Jared's thing again, so we can get some people in for him. You do
Oh, yeah.
Tuesday nights starting at 10 to, or you said 10
10:30 to 1:30.
10:30 to 1:30.
Yeah.
All right, and that is at the Canby down
Yeah.
on fuck. I always just drive down that street. I don't know its name.
It's,
Victoria.
Victoria.
Yeah, it took
It's right
everybody a minute.
downtown, and I'm over
Yeah.
right by the.
And then
A&W.
and then it's Thursday nights. You said for your
My buddies, they do Wednesdays and Sundays at the Palace,
Wednesdays and Sundays at the Palace. And where's the Palace located?
Skinner Street,
Skinner Street. That's a lovely name for a street.
right?
We should change it to Armin Tanzarian Street.
Oh my god! I just watched that episode last night.
And then you have your bar game event is when?
Saturdays at the Canby,
And when does that run from?
usually around 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jared.
Thank you.
And then hopefully we can have you on again. I'd like to actually talk to you more seriously in the future about getting some stoner okie going on,
yeah, that'd be
or
cool.
doing a stoner version of your gaming event.
Absolutely.
So awesome. And I think we will shut her down there for today, people. Remember, I got the podcast coming up tomorrow evening with the local Nanaimo burlesque troupe. So I hope you tune in. Thank you
Sweet.
very much, and have a nice Monday.
Peace.
What? Word to your mother.